Chapter 851. He did not intend to listen to this matter. It was purely unintentional. After walking over, a smile appeared on Zheng Weijuan's face again. Even if there were some unhappy things, he had to keep them in his heart. He could not show them again at this time. "Sir, is there anything wrong with it?" Zheng Weijun asked. "No, it's quite good," Zheng Weijun said. "That's good," Zheng Weijun said. In fact, a few days ago, Zheng Weijun had secretly invited a very famous feng shui master in the south to come and see this place. As a businessman, he was more superstitious in this aspect. As a result, the famous master also praised the place very much. He said that it was a place where wealth was gathered and was suitable for business and living. Zheng Weijun then led the master to see the place just now. The master also said that it was not suitable for this place to be empty. It would be best if there was a feng shui stone placed in this place. Then there would be no problem. This statement coincided with Wang Yao's. As a result, his original little doubt immediately disappeared. It was replaced by surprise and conviction. Then, he quickly got such a large piece of Lingbai stone. After seeing the installation of the equipment and walking around, Wang Yao returned to the mountain village. Zheng Weijuan's face became very ugly. "What's wrong, young master?" Zheng Weijun asked. "My brother is coming." "Eldest young master?" The man next to Zheng Weijun was stunned. Sure enough, there was still disharmony between brothers. However, it was not appropriate for a person like him to advise him on this kind of matter. After returning to the mountain village, Wang Yao found 3 people waiting outside the clinic. It was the woman who had insufficient yin qi in her body last time. She had taken 2 doses of medicine. Now, her complexion was no different from a normal person. "Have you been waiting for a long time?" Zheng Weijun asked. "No, we just arrived," the younger man said. "Come in and have a seat." Wang Yao invited them into the clinic. Then, he gave the woman a thorough examination. There was no major problem. "Well, I'll give you another dose of medicine. You can go home and take it. After taking it, you'll be fine." "Oh, okay." The 3 of them were very happy when they heard this. They could finally leave this place. After all, this place wasn't their hometown. It wasn't that convenient. Wang Yao prescribed another medicine for him. Now that he had recovered to this extent, he didn't need to use spiritual herbs anymore. He could just use other common herbs instead. Why did the price change this time? When they paid, they were surprised to find that the price had suddenly become much cheaper. "Her condition is much better now. She doesn't need to take those expensive herbs anymore," Wang Yao explained. "Oh, thank you. It was naturally good to be able to save and spend less money." Ding! The long-awaited system notification rang out once again, indicating that the requirements for the system upgrade had been met. This time, he added a rare skill point to his original acupuncture technique. This time, the wisdom imbuement was much gentler, but it was indeed very deep. The medical technique of acupuncture was actually broad and profound. From ancient times to the present, from its development to its strong and then to its decline, many things have been lost. It was not as valued as Western medicine. Now, the momentum of Chinese medicine was weak. It was even less valued than neighboring countries. Too many treatments relied on advanced technology and neglected other things. Wang Yao closed his eyes and thought for a while. He then slowly opened them. Phew! It seemed that the road to go was still very long. The deeper he went on this road, the more extraordinary he felt it was. In Lianshan County, in a tea house, very few people came to drink tea. The tea house was just a cover. More people came to play mahjong and poker to pass the time. In a private room, 2 men looked about the same age. They were both in their 30s. One was slightly more elegant, and the other looked more robust. "What's the matter?" "I was passing by Qi province. I missed you, so I came to see you," the elegant man said with a smile. "No way you missed me." Zheng Weijun smiled and took a sip of tea. "We're brothers. Blood is thicker than water," the elegant man said. He felt a little helpless about his younger brother. Growing up in such a family, there were some things he could not do even if he did not want to. He had obtained power and wealth, but he had lost his family. "I heard that your new factory here is about to go into production. Are you thinking about it? Can you not be so hostile to me?" Zheng Weijuan's brother asked. I'm just asking casually. It will go into production next month. What kind of medicine? It's a kind of tonic. Tonic? Zheng Weijuan's brother frowned after hearing that. This kind of medicine is not easy to promote in the early stage, let alone a brand that has just been established. He was telling the truth. In fact, there were quite a lot of pharmaceutical companies now. Different manufacturers of various medical products had a lot of overlap in some fields. If one wanted to take a share of the market, they needed a considerable amount of connections and connections. It was not enough to say that your medicine was good. Of course, unless your medicine was really very good, like the monopolized special drugs abroad. There was no way. You don't have to worry about that, Zheng Weijun said. Let me know if you need help. No need. The meeting between the two brothers could be said to be on bad terms. How is it? It's not good. He still has a lot of hostility toward me. Don't take it to heart. No matter what. We are brothers, Zheng Weijuan's brother said. Let's go. By the way, he's going to launch a medicine next month. Pay attention when the time comes and let our pharmaceutical representative promote it. Okay. The man sitting in the car stared at the small county outside. Wait, do you know where the doctor who treated Weijun is? I've heard of him. Let's go and have a look. Okay. The sky gradually darkened. In the afternoon, the autumn wind was very cold. Wang Yao quietly looked at the sky in the yard. At this time, the sky was a little yellow. Well, someone is coming. There was the sound of a car, then footsteps and knocking on the door. Please come in. Two men entered the yard. One was in his 30s and wore a pair of glasses. He was very elegant. The other was in his 40s. He was slightly thin and his eyes were very bright. Hello, are you Dr. Wang? Yes, what's the matter? Wang Yao asked with a smile. Well, I am Zheng Weijun's brother, Zheng Weigong. I came here to express my gratitude. Thank you for curing my brother's illness. Ah, you are welcome, Wang Yao said with a smile. Such a visit surprised him. Could this be the person on the phone? This is a small gift. I hope you will accept it. It was a very exquisite gift box. At a glance, it was obvious that the things inside were expensive. Thank you, but I'll pass, Wang Yao said with a smile. He invited Zheng Weigong into the house and said a few words. Zheng Weigong left and finally left the gift. Wang Yao opened it. It was a very exquisite ceramic tea set. At first glance, he knew it was a high-end product. It was a high-quality product from Jingda Jun. What a coincidence. I like such a tea set here. When it was dark, he locked the door and was ready to go home for dinner. He happened to meet Zhong Luchuan and Jia Zizai jogging toward the mountain. Chapter 852. It was so cold that one could see the heat from his breath. Sir, seeing Wang Yao, they took the initiative to come over and greet him. Go to the hill. Yes. Okay, go ahead. Wang Yao turned and walked in the direction of his home. Before he reached the door, he saw a car rushing over in a hurry. It sped past him and went straight to the south of the village. See a doctor? He stopped. As expected, he saw a man jump out of the car. A woman was holding a child. She looked very anxious. He hurriedly turned around. His pace was not fast, but he arrived outside the clinic in a very short period of time. Why is the door closed? The couple was sweating profusely. What's wrong with the child? Wang Yao looked at the child in the woman's arms. Her face was slightly pale. He choked on something to eat. Let me see. Wang Yao looked carefully. Then, the child patted him twice on the back. With a cry, the child spat out a ball of food from his mouth. Then he cried out loud. The child is too young to eat this kind of food. Wang Yao looked down and found that it was unchewed peanuts. Ah, we didn't want to. We didn't see it. He just stuffed it into his mouth. Wang Yao looked carefully. After confirming that there was no other problem with the child, he said to the couple, Okay, it's all right. You can go back. Thank you so much. In return, you must pay attention in the future. Thank you. How much is it? Forget it. Wang Yao waved his hand and turned to walk home. Thank you. The man did not forget to stop and thank him when he drove past him. Go ahead. Slow down. Wang Yao slowly returned home. You're back. Zhang Xiaoying was preparing dinner. Mom, do you need me to do anything? Nothing. Just stay in the room. It's just the two of us tonight. Where's Dad? He went out to drink. After dinner, The mother and daughter stayed in the room to watch TV. At around 8 o'clock, Wang Fenghua came in from outside. He still smelled of cigarettes and alcohol. "You're back, Dad. How many glasses did you drink?" "More than 3 cups, half a liter of wine," Wang Fenghua said with a smile. "Please wait a moment. I'll bring you some water." After dinner, Wang Yao brought his father a bowl of hangover soup. Drinking it could help relieve the effects of alcohol and protect the intestines and liver. "When I was drinking just now, I heard that 2 more families moved away from the village," Wang Fenghua said after drinking a mouthful of soup. "Who is it?" "The Maosheng brothers." "Oh," Zhang Xiaoying responded. "Someone bought 2 more houses and renovated them." "Yao, do you know him?" "Yes, I know him. He's the Zheng Weijun who opened the pharmaceutical factory with me. You've met him before." "It's him. He's quite rich, isn't he?" "But he's extraordinarily rich," Zhang Xiaoying said. "Rich people's minds are different from ours," Zhang Xiaoying said. "People in the village want to go out, but they want to come in." "There will be more and more people coming in the future," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Some people want to come, but they can't. Who will come back?" "That's not necessarily true," Zhang Xiaoying said. Now, the village was no longer allowed to build houses. They could only renovate the original houses. The number of houses was limited. After chatting with his parents for a while, he went out to Nanshan Hill at around 9 o'clock. The night passed peacefully. The next morning, the father of the child he had treated the day before came with a silk banner. It said, "Hua Tuo is alive, and he is benevolent." The man had customized the banner to express his gratitude to Wang Yao. "Thank you." Wang Yao took the banner with a smile. In the morning, he suddenly came to the clinic. "Sir, I've encountered a problem in my practice," Zhong Luing said. "What's the problem?" He immediately told Wang Yao about the difficulties he had encountered during his practice. It was a typical bottleneck. No matter how he practiced, there was no progress. "Are you in a hurry?" Wang Yao asked. "Of course not." He immediately understood what Wang Yao meant. "Sorry to bother you, sir." "Read more Taoist scriptures," Wang Yao said. "Got it, sir," Zhong Luing said. "Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan." "You have news so soon?" "I was afraid you would be anxious, so I told you first," Su Xinyuan said as he looked at the exceptionally mature man sitting across from him. He did not know why the young man had an intersection with such a force. "Go ahead. This place really exists," Wang Yao said. "It is in southern Yunnan, but the location is very remote. It is in the forest, and the road is rugged and difficult to travel. It is a very closed village. They are very resistant to outsiders. I once got close to them, but I found that there were hidden sentries in the jungle outside their place." "Are they good at using poison?" Wang Yao asked. "According to the information I know, they are extremely good at using poison and poisonous insects," Su Xinyuan said. "Sir, I don't recommend you have any interaction with them because they are too dangerous." Based on the information he had gathered in the past few days, this village had existed for hundreds of years or even longer. Moreover, there were legends about them in this generation. He had always been unwilling to come into contact with this kind of village that was similar to a hidden sect in Jianghu. After existing for a long time, they naturally had some means and heritage. "I don't want to, but they seem to have come to us," Guozheng has said with a smile. "The latest autopsy report came out," Guozheng has said. "The same unknown toxin was found in the bodies of the 11 people. It was very weak, but it did exist. The reason why it had not been detected before was that the detection methods and equipment in the city were limited." "What do you want to do? Is there anyone in the village outside?" "I'm still asking about this, but they are too closed. If there is, let's get in touch with them first." "Okay." Su Xinyuan drank a cup of tea and left. The valley of thousands of medicine, hidden from the world, huh? Guo Zhenghe narrowed his eyes. No one knew what he was thinking. The sunset was infinitely beautiful, but it was close to dusk. Near evening, a car with a foreign license plate drove into the mountain village. "Is this the place?" "Yes, this is the place." A man in a suit and glasses got out of the car. He knocked on the door and entered the clinic. "Sorry, I don't plan to make a house call recently." After hearing the man's intention, Wang Yao directly refused. "More money is negotiable," the man said. "This patient situation is a bit special." is really not suitable for travel. I've said that, Wang Yao calmly said. Well, if you have any requests, I will try my best to meet them as long as I can. Wang Yao did not speak. He just waved his hand. The man came out of the clinic with some disappointment and got into the car. How is it? A man in his 40s in the back seat asked. Sorry, he doesn't want to make a house call, the man said. It's not your fault, the middle-aged man said. I know his temper is a bit strange. Is there any other way? The man asked. I heard that his parents and a few of his friends are in this village, the man said. Maybe we can start with them. Don't disturb his family. Ask his friends. Okay. Xiaohe, you stay and deal with this matter. Yes. The car left the village. The next morning, Jia Zizai and Zhong Luchuan ran together and came to the foot of Dongshan Mountain. Jia Zizai ran to the village as usual. Come up. A voice came from the mountain. It was not loud, but it was at least 100 meters away. It accurately and clearly reached his ears. Hearing the voice, Jia Zizai was stunned. He looked around and looked up at Wang Yao. Sir, is that you? He shouted toward the mountain, but his voice quickly dissipated. Yes, it's me. Go up the mountain. Wang Yao's voice came down from the mountain and accurately reached his ears. Okay. Jia Zizai was very happy. He knew what it meant. He hurried up the mountain as fast as he could. He even fell once because of excitement. Sir, from today on, you will learn from Luchuan, Zhong Luchuan said. Okay, sir. Jia Zizai was happy. His persistence over the past few days had not been in vain. He had finally waited for this day. Senior. Zhong Luchuan nodded with a smile. Chapter 853. Jia Zizai was very happy. He hummed a tune as he came down from the mountain. What's the matter? Why are you so happy? Humei asked with a smile. Good news. It's worth setting off firecrackers to celebrate, Jia Zizai said. Guess. Did you pick up money when you went out? Hey, honey, are we the kind of people who lack money? Jia Zizai asked with a smile. The two of them had accumulated a lot over the years. It was enough for them to live carefree for 3 lifetimes. Did Dr. Wang agree to accept you as his apprentice? Bingo, you got it. Jia Zizai clapped his hands. How about it, honey? Isn't it worth celebrating? Indeed, it's worth celebrating. I'll cook a few dishes at noon to celebrate, Humei said happily. Okay, I'll boil a pot of wine. While he was very happy, Zhong Luchuan, who was not far from him, welcomed a strange guest. Hello, do you know Dr. Wang Yao? The man, who was wearing a suit and glasses, was very polite. You come to the wrong place, Zhong Luchuan said. Well, I heard that you were Dr. Wang's friend, the man said. What do you want to say? Looking at the man with a gift box in his hand, Zhong Luchuan guessed his purpose. Could it be that he went to Dr. Wang's place to give a gift and was rejected? Then, he heard about his relationship with Dr. Wang and came here? Well, I want to ask Dr. Wang to make a house call, but he doesn't agree, the man said. So, can you help me? Well, of course, I won't let you help me for nothing. I can give you a certain reward. What do you think? Sorry, I'm very busy. After knowing the man's purpose, Zhong Luchuan decisively refused. Hey, no, the price is negotiable. With a bang, Zhong Luchuan closed the door. The man who was rejected with a gift suddenly became a little gloomy. This was not the first person to reject him. Before coming here, he had gone to another family in the village. As a result, the other person had also rejected him without hesitation. These people, although he was angry, he knew that now was not the time to be angry. His leader was still waiting for his good news. Originally, he thought that this matter would be very easy. After all, this small mountain village looked very poor. At least, there were not many decent cars parked on a road in the village. When he directly stated the price, the man from the first family, who was obviously not very good, directly closed the door. He had the same reaction as the man just now. Does Wang have such a big WeChat in this village? No one is willing to help after hearing his rejection. He hesitated for a moment, then went to another family's home. He knocked on the door, but no one answered. Is there no one inside? Then he turned to another household, but there was still no response. Hey, this is strange. I don't believe it. The man went to another house. Firstly, he wanted to satisfy his superior. Secondly, his stubbornness flared up. In the end, he realized that in this entire row of houses with 4 households, only one of them had responded. He was even rejected at the door. He decisively went to the second row of houses and knocked on the door one by one. When he knocked on the 4th house, someone finally opened the door. "Who are you looking for?" "Hello, do you know Dr. Wang Yao?" "Yes, his clinic is over there." Wang Zicheng, who opened the door, pointed to the building with an unusual style diagonally across the street. "There you his friend?" "Friend." Wang Zicheng was stunned. "Well, how should I put it? Kind of." He said something against his will. In his eyes, Wang Yao was his benefactor. Wang Yao eased the pain of his father's illness, made him turn over a new leaf, and made him realize the value of family and what real life should be like. Wang Yao made him pick up the responsibility that a man and a son should have. "Well, I want to ask Dr. Wang to make a house call, but he didn't agree." "You see, I see. You want me to be a lobbyist, right?" Wang Zicheng interrupted directly. "Yes, that's what I mean. Don't worry, I won't let you help for nothing. As long as it is successful, I can give you 3,000 yuan. "How much?" Wang Zicheng was stunned. 3,000. If you think it's not enough, you can add more. "My goodness, do you have a mine at home?" Wang Zicheng was stunned for a while. Rich people are different. They can earn a month's salary by being a lobbyist, and it may be more. It's too easy to get money. "I'm sorry. Can you find someone else?" He smiled and decisively refused. "Are you kidding me? Wang Yao has been treating his father for so long, and he only charges a nominal fee. He has already given him a lot of face. The person he refused is now going to be a lobbyist for a few thousand yuan. How shameless is that?" The man asked. "Hey, no. If you think the price is not enough, you can add more." The man was a little anxious. Why do these people have such a reaction? "Sorry, I have something else to do." He closed the door with a bang. "Hiss this." The man was really speechless. "Why don't I go back and report it to the leader directly?" He stood in front of Wang Zicheng's door and hesitated for a while. Then, he decided to find another person to try. If the other party still had such a reaction, he would immediately go back and report it to the leader truthfully. So, he began to knock on the door. "Who are you?" This time, it was a man who opened the door with a cigarette in his mouth. He looked a little sloppy. "Hello, do you know Wang Yao?" He said the same thing again. "What do you mean? You want me to be a lobbyist?" Jia Zizai was stunned. "Yes, that's what I mean," the man with glasses admitted directly. "Oh, you really know how to think," Jia Zizai said with a smile. "If Mr. Wang refuses, no one in this village will agree with you, unless his brain is kicked by a donkey. What is this gift?" "Tea." "What tea?" "Longjing, Westlake Longjing. Take it back and drink it by yourself. Take care. I won't see you off." Jia Zizai smiled and then happily closed the door and went back to the house. "So it's not possible?" The man who was still outside was stunned for a while and then said to himself. Then he decisively chose to leave the mountain village. "Who is it?" Mei, who was busy in the house, asked. "A weirdo who came to give gifts." "Give gift to us?" "Well, to be exact, give them to me," Jia Zizai said with a smile. "Your friend?" "No, I don't know him at all." "Then why did he give you gifts? Did he go to the wrong door?" "No, he didn't go to the wrong door. I guess there are some things that he hasn't figured out yet." Jia Zizai then told Mei in detail what had just happened. He asked Mr. Wang to make a house call. Yes, Mr. Wang didn't agree. Mei said. He thought of these crooked ways. "I don't know who gave him the idea." "Hey, do you think he's already been to Mr. Wang's house?" "No, I've seen Mr. Wang's parents. They're both kind-hearted people. If he had already seen them, they would have persuaded Mr. Wang to treat them. Well, at least he has some brains. He knows what Mr. Wang hates the most." The man carrying the Westlake Longjing tea left the mountain village disappointedly. He didn't expect things to turn out like this. The people in the village were too uncooperative. After he went back, he truthfully reported to the leader, who was waiting for news. "Okay, I got it. I'll go again this afternoon. If it doesn't work, I'll bring the old man here." "I'm sorry, it's my fault." "It's not your fault. I've inquired before coming here. Dr. Wang's rules are quite strange." The middle-aged man waved his hand. "Let's go back." "Okay." In the afternoon, a car drove into the mountain village. Seeing the two people who came yesterday, Wang Yao smiled and said, Why are you here again? I said I won't make a house call. Well, Dr. Wong, I want to ask when you're free recently. I'll bring the old man here to see a doctor, the middle-aged man said. I won't go out this week. If I go out, I'll inform you on Weibo in advance. Okay, I'll bring the old man here in 2 days, the middle-aged man said. Okay, wait, take the tea away. Wang Yao pointed to the tea leaves on the ground. This is a little token of my appreciation. No, take it back. Otherwise, don't come to see a doctor, Wang Yao said. They were not acquaintances, and he hadn't treated the old man. These things were absolutely unacceptable. Oh, okay. The middle-aged man had no choice but to signal the secretary to take the gifts out again. This doctor is really ignorant of the ways of the world. After coming out, the man with glasses said. He had been rejected several times in the morning. He had been suppressing his anger for a long time. After coming out, he really couldn't stand it anymore. There were even people who didn't accept the gifts. It wasn't just one person who got angry. This is a matter of principle, the middle-aged man said. Principle? Let's go back and bring the old man here to see a doctor. But the old man can't be exposed to the wind. Bear with it. There's no other way. We've seen so many doctors. The car drove out of the mountain village. When he went home for lunch, Wang Yao's sister and brother-in-law came back. Huh? Wang Yao was surprised to see his sister. Well, you're fast enough. Wang Yao joked with a smile. What's fast enough? Wang Ru was surprised. Sister, you and my brother-in-law have only been married for a short time. You're pregnant. What? Pregnant? Hearing the news, Du Mingyang suddenly jumped over and asked in surprise, Are you sure? Why? You don't know? Chapter 854. No, I don't know. Du Mingyang was so happy that he stuttered. He was the kind of person who especially liked children. He had a little nephew, so he spoiled him very much. What? What did you just say? Hearing Wang Yao's words, Zhang Xiaoying came out of the house. Your sister is pregnant? Yes. The family was very happy after hearing the good news. It was an unexpected surprise. Is it a boy or a girl? Du Mingyang didn't ask, but Wang Yao's mother spoke first. Really? I can't tell. Your son is not a god. I don't have X-ray eyes, Wang Yao said with a smile. Mom, whether it's a boy or a girl, I like them both, Du Mingyang hurriedly said. He didn't have the traditional old idea of favoring boys over girls. Let me show you what you need to eat. Okay, sister, sit down. Wang Yao looked at it carefully for his sister. No problem. My sister's body is very good. The baby is normal. Don't worry. Is there anything to pay attention to? You can check it on the internet. There are many things on the internet. Wang Yao smiled, but he still told his sister to pay attention to some things. Don't cook. I'll do it myself, Zhang Xiaoying said. Mom, didn't Yao just say that it's less than 2 months? It's okay to have appropriate activities, Wang Ru said. That's not okay. I'll help. Wang Yao smiled. Sister, you sit down. In the end, Wang Ru was protected like a panda. She didn't even need to carry the dishes. No, what are you doing? She felt very apologetic. It had only been less than 2 months. No, honey, listen to me. The first 3 months are very important. You must pay attention to it, Du Mingyang said. Do I have to take 3 months off? No, 9 months to be precise. I have to stay at home to nourish the baby. Hey, don't say that. I think it's feasible. Why don't you tell your leader next week? Wang Ru was joking, but Du Mingyang took it seriously. Du Mingyang, what are you thinking? Wang Ru's face changed. She couldn't bear to stay at home all day without doing her work. Besides, proper activities were good for the development and growth of the baby in her belly. Hey, I'll listen to you. Seeing that his wife's face changed, Du Mingyang immediately changed his words. All right, let's eat. Mingyang is doing this for your own good, Zhang Xiaoying said. On this day, the whole family was very happy. Wang Fenghua drank 2 more glasses of wine, and Du Mingyang also drank a few glasses with him. The two of them planned to stay here for the night and go back the next day since it was Sunday. Before I know it, another week has passed, Wang Yao thought. After dinner, he called Su Xiaoxue. He really missed her. It was actually a kind of happiness to always have someone to worry about. In a mountain village, Jia Zizai and Humei were very happy. They drank 2 bottles of wine in a row to celebrate. In the afternoon, near evening, Jia Zizai and Zhong Luchuan went out for a run. Zhong Luchuan also taught Jia Zizai the breathing method that Wang Yao had taught him. Jia Zizai was a real person. He knew that those seemingly mysterious things often came from some of the most basic things, such as the legendary Taoist cultivation method. The most recent one was the breathing guidance method. Therefore, he listened very carefully and firmly remembered what he heard in his mind. After seeing Jia Zizai take out another cigarette, Zhong Luchuan said, "Sir, you don't smoke. In the future, try to smoke less in front of Sir." "Okay, I'll remember." Jia Zizai put the cigarette back in the cigarette box. He was actually a heavy smoker. Because of his previous career, he needed to smoke to relieve pressure. "Are you free tonight? Come to my house for dinner?" "No, Anshin is back. I'll accompany her," Zhong Luchuan said. "Order a piece and try Humei's cooking," Zhong Luchuan said. Well, it's settled," Zhong Luchuan said. "That's good. Thank you," Zhong Luchuan said. "Hey, we're all in the same school now," Zhong Luchuan said. The sun set, and the sky gradually darkened. The moon was very big and very bright. At about 9 p.m., Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill alone. After leaving the mountain village and going up the mountain road, it was quiet all around. Even the sound of insects could not be heard. After the frost, there were fewer insects. He took a step forward. In the blink of an eye, he was more than 20 meters away. It was like the legendary shrinking distance. After a while, he reached Nanshan Hill. San Xian squatted next to his kennel and looked at the sky. No one knew what he was thinking. "What are you thinking about?" "Woof." "Huh?" Swoosh. A meteor streaked across the sky. "Make a wish quickly." Wang Yao smiled and rubbed San Xian's head. "Woof. Go to bed early. Tomorrow will be a sunny day." Wang Yao smiled. San Xian did not seem to hear him. He was still squatting there and looking at the sky. "Hey, San Xian, don't tell me you also know how to read the sky." Wang Yao, who had just walked to the door, suddenly stopped and turned to look at San Xian, who was still squatting there and looking at the sky. "Isn't this too mysterious?" Wang Yao came to San Xian's side and looked at him. "San Xian, tell me, what did you see?" "Woof, woof." San Xian barked twice, then raised his paw and pointed to the sky. "Did you really understand it? Well, it's up to you. Good night." After sitting with the dog for a while, Wang Yao went into the house and recited a Taoist scripture. He then turned off the lights and went to bed. In the mountain village, Wang Yao's home. "Wife, what do you think our child's name should be? It's 9:30 now. Hurry up and go to bed." "How about Du's eating?" "I don't think so. Have you drunk too much?" "Du's eating? Why not change it to Chubby?" "I like girls. It's best if the first child is a girl and then have a second child." "What if the second child is a girl?" "I don't care. It's the same for boys and girls." The two of them lay in bed and chatted for a long time. It was past 10 o'clock. Wangru could not bear it anymore. "Pregnant women need enough rest." "Well, I won't talk. You have a good rest." This sentence was quite effective. Du Mingyang immediately shut up. The night passed quietly. The next morning, not many people came to the clinic. At nearly 11 o'clock, when it was time for lunch, a foreign car drove into the mountain village and stopped outside the clinic. "Dad, this is the place." 3 people got out of the car. 2 of them had been there twice. One of them had wandered around the village with gifts, trying to find someone to persuade Wang Yao to make a house call. The third person was an old man with a bad complexion. He wore a lot of clothes, such as a feather jacket and a hat. It seemed that he was very afraid of the cold. He walked unsteadily and needed someone to support him. "Please slow down." The 2 people supported the old man to enter the clinic. Coincidentally, there was no one there, so they did not need to line up. "Hello, Dr. Wang. I'm here to bother you again," the middle-aged man said. "Please take a look at my father. He always has a headache, especially when it's cold. It hurts so much that he can't eat or sleep." As if to prove what he said, the old man suddenly began to tremble. He covered his head with both hands. He looked very painful. Soon, sweat appeared on his forehead. It was because of the pain. "Dad." The middle-aged man hurriedly helped his father sit down. "Excuse me." Wang Yao took out a silver needle from the needle bag and inserted it into the old man's head accurately and steadily. The old man's body immediately stopped trembling because he did not feel pain. "It doesn't hurt anymore," the old man was surprised. "Really?" The middle-aged man was also stunned. It was amazing that the needle did not hurt anymore. "It's just temporary," Wang Yao said. The old man was suffering from a cold that had entered his brain. The needle he had given him just now had only temporarily stopped the pain, but it could not cure him completely. "Do you have a way to cure it?" "Yes," Wang Yao said. The old man's disease was not difficult to cure. He just needed to expel the cold in his brain. "That's great. Please treat my father." "It's not cheap," Wang Yao said. Chapter 855. "Okay, please wait for a moment," Wang Yao said. The old man's illness was caused by an evil cold that entered his brain. Naturally, he needed to use hot medicine to expel the cold. It would take a considerable amount of time to remove the root of the illness with ordinary herbs. Wang Yao probably couldn't wait any longer. The main herb Wang Yao chose was dangyang flower. The flower was like fire, like the sun, and it replenished yang qi. It was a pure yang herb with obvious efficacy. In addition, he chose some ziyu, which could promote blood circulation and dredge up blood stasis and clear channels and collaterals. The qi and blood in the brain were not flowing smoothly. In fact, it was not only the brain that was affected. The circulation of qi and blood in the body was very poor. First, it was because of his age. Second, it was because of the illness. The three of them sat quietly in the room. "Dad, how do you feel?" "My head doesn't hurt anymore, but I don't have much strength in my body," the old man said weakly. The old man said weakly. He had been tormented by this headache all these years. He couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, and had no energy. His body was getting worse and worse. His son was filial. He took him to many places and saw many doctors, but the effect was limited. At most, it was better in spring and summer. But when it came to late autumn and winter, he didn't dare to go out. He was afraid of the wind. When the wind blew, it was like being stabbed by an awl. It was so painful that he wanted to die. "You don't say. This young doctor is really something." "Yes, I also heard about it from others," the middle-aged man said. In the next room, Wang Yao was slowly decocting the medicine. "What is he doing?" "He should be decocting the medicine. I smell the smell of Chinese medicine." They sat quietly in the room. It was not good for them to walk around. Originally, the slightly younger man with glasses wanted to walk around. As soon as he stood up, he found the leader's eyes fell on him. He sat down again. "How long do I have to wait?" He complained in his heart, but he didn't dare to say it out loud. The leader was waiting, so couldn't he wait? They waited in the room for a full hour and a half. They just sat there. Then they saw Wang Yao coming in with a white porcelain bottle. "The medicine is ready. Drink it and try." Wang Yao poured out a small cup and handed it to the old man. "Okay." The old man tested the temperature and drank the cup of medicine in one gulp. And then, "Wait," Wang Yao said succinctly. "I'll go." After waiting for another half an hour, Wang Yao checked the old man and confirmed that there was no problem. "All right, you can leave now. Come back in 10 days. 10 days? Yes. How much is this medicine? 100,000, Wang Yao said. How much? The three men were stunned. They had heard from Wang Yao that the medicine would be expensive, but they didn't expect it to be so expensive. What is it? It's okay. I'll pay, the middle-aged man said after a long silence. Then, he signaled his secretary to transfer the money. All right, you can leave now. The two of them helped the old man out of the house, left the courtyard, and got into the car. Dad, how do you feel now? It's good. My head doesn't hurt anymore. It's warm and comfortable, the old man said. In the past few years, his head had never been as comfortable as it was today. Even if he wore a cotton hat, he would still feel cold and painful. The pain was from the inside out, not from the outside in. That's good. The middle-aged man was relieved. As long as it was effective, the money was not wasted. I still think it's a bit expensive, the man with glasses said. It's expensive for a reason. Let's go. The car slowly left the mountain village. In the car, the old man sighed and said, I really didn't expect such a capable young man to stay in such a small mountain village. You can consider poaching this person to your city. Isn't your city doing a talent introduction program? The old man said to his son. Well, okay, Dad, the middle-aged man hurriedly replied. I'm afraid he won't go. A dose of medicine here can be sold for 100,000 yuan. It's almost equal to my annual salary. How much can he earn if he goes there? Of course, this was what he thought. He couldn't say it out loud. It would go against his father's wishes. He could see that his father's temperament was very good today. Let's go. I'm a little hungry. What would you like to eat? Would you like to drink some mutton soup? Okay, Shao Dai, find a restaurant. Yes. Thousands of miles away, Guozhenghe was in a very bad mood because people had died in the county under his jurisdiction. This time, 5 people died at the same time. The place where the 5 people died was a village on the outskirts of the county. There were men and women. He rushed over as soon as he received the news. The criminal investigation experts from the province also rushed over at the first moment. Their faces were also very ugly. Originally, they came with a halo to help solve the thorny problem here. However, the problem hadn't been solved yet, and now a new problem had appeared. 5 people died at once. This was a big case. Guozhenghe communicated with the criminal investigation experts. The deceased didn't have any obvious signs of struggle or fighting before death. We didn't find any other useful information. What about poisoning? We need to wait for the results. Sorry to trouble you. You're welcome. We came down to solve this problem. After a simple conversation with the criminal investigation experts and comforting the family of the deceased, Wang Yao left the crime scene. He immediately called Su Xinyuan and asked him to meet at a place. Young master, Uncle Su, how is the situation over there? I came into contact with a person. Preliminary judgment is that he escaped from there. I'm considering further contact. Why did you call me back in such a hurry? Did something happen again? 5 more people died yesterday. Died again? Was it poisoning? The autopsy is still ongoing, but my first feeling is that the cause of death is the same as the 11 people who died last time. Guozhenghe took a big puff of his cigarette. It showed that he was in a very irritable mood at the moment. In less than a week, 16 people had died. This was definitely a major case. What was this in the place he was in charge of? This was a lack of law and order. This was his lack of leadership. This was a stain on his political career. It might be a black spot that could not be erased. It was very likely that it would affect his future promotion. This was only one point. He thought about more. What if this thing happened to him? Those people could be killed quietly. Would he be killed so easily? The key question was, what was their purpose? Young master, I think you can leak this matter out at an appropriate time. Leak? Yes, let more leaders know, Su Xinyuan said. Although the village is said to be difficult to enter and the people there are quite capable, it is still a small village. An ant can't fight an elephant. Guozhenghe narrowed his eyes and thought for a while. Pressure people with power, but we don't have any evidence. We don't need evidence. We could try if we suspect. If it doesn't work, I can send a message to let them know about this matter. Let me think about it. Well, young master, you have to be careful. Well, I know, Wang Yao said. Hurry up. If there are any difficulties, just tell me. Got it. The results of the autopsy came out. These 5 people were poisoned. This time, the concentration of the poison was stronger than the last time. It could be concluded that this was a murder. Moreover, this case and the previous case were very likely to be the same person. However, other than that, they didn't collect any clues. They didn't even have a decent suspect. Damn it. The people from the provincial capital were also under a lot of pressure. That night, Captain Yang, who led the team, was smoking in the office. Suddenly, he heard someone knocking on the door outside. Come in, he shouted, but there was no response from outside. He looked up and looked outside. Then, he continued to look down at the file. Knock, knock, knock. There was another knock on the door. Come in. This time, his voice was a little higher. However, there was still no response after waiting for a while. What's going on? He put out the cigarette and walked to the door. He reached out and opened the door. It was empty outside. There was no one. That's strange. He turned around. His body suddenly tensed up. He reached out and took out the pistol at his waist. At the same time, he quickly looked around. There was a gap in the glass. Wind blew in from the outside. The room was still the same. There was no change. He carefully searched the small office. He then carefully poked his head out of the window and looked outside. There was no one. There were only policemen on duty at the door. No one. He turned and went to his desk. There was a sealed file bag on his desk. Just as he got up to open the door, someone had put the file bag on his desk without him noticing. He carefully checked the file bag. He put on rubber gloves and carefully opened it, revealing a stack of information. After seeing the content, he was shocked. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine. He was from Dianan. He had been in criminal investigation for more than 20 years. In the past 20 years, he dared not say that he had traveled to all places in Dianan, but he had been to most places. He had an impression of most places in Dianan. He even knew some remote villages. He had heard some secret stories, including the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. He lit another cigarette and carefully looked through the information that he did not know who had sent him. Good at using poison? These 4 words were important. Weren't the 16 people who died twice poisoned to death? Chapter 856. Was it done by someone from the so-called Valley of Thousands of Medicine? If so, who sent the information? Captain Yang, who was leading the team, kept smoking. Knock, knock, knock. There was another knock on the door. No way, not again. He subconsciously took out his gun. Come in. Creak. The door was pushed open from the outside. A man in his 30s came in. Boss, haven't you left yet? No, I'm thinking about something, Captain Yang said. You haven't eaten, have you? Not yet. Let's go out and have a meal. It's my treat. Okay. Captain Yang put the gun back into the holster on his waist. He put away the information and left the office with it. Boss, don't be so nervous, Captain Yang said. It's too stressful. How can it not be stressful? 16 people have died, Captain Yang said. Boss, to put it bluntly, don't take it too seriously. Go ahead. I heard that Secretary Gua has a big background. What are you trying to say? Could it be that someone doesn't like him and wants to make trouble for him? If they don't like him, they could just put him down. Why do they have to go through so much trouble and kill 16 people all at once? Well, that's true. But you have provided an idea, Captain Yang said. Maybe it really has something to do with him. Before he received the order, his leader had specifically told him that Secretary Gua's background was not ordinary. He should restrain himself and not be so grumpy. Another second-generation heir. Captain Yang was already very unhappy with these people. What about the murderer? I don't have a clue yet, Captain Yang suddenly said. No, I just have a little clue. You have a clue? Yes, but I need to make sure if it's right. Here we are. It's a Sichuan restaurant. I know you like spicy food. Let's go. Many people in the city did not sleep that night. The next day, the sun was bright in the sky. Secretary Gua, sorry to bother you. You're welcome, Captain Yang. The two of them were in Guozheng's office. Is there anything I can help you with? Actually, there is, Captain Yang said with a smile. Please speak. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Does Secretary Gua know about this place? The Valley of Thousands of Medicine? Guozheng's expression changed when he heard the name. Oh, it seems like you really know everything. I know. Of course, it's just hearsay. I heard that the people in this place are good at using poison and raising goo. And? No. But Captain Yang, I guess that this case might be related to them. Secretary Gua's intuition is really sharp. It's possible, but I'm not sure. Then what is the purpose of your visit? Does Secretary Gua know the exact location of the Valley of Thousands of Medicine? I don't know. I've heard that this place is isolated from the rest of the world. The people inside rarely communicate with the outside world. They're all self-contained. Since you don't like to communicate with the outside world, why did you do all these things? I don't know. I'll have to rely on Captain Yang to reveal the answer. Well, that's why we're here. Secretary Gua, if you know anything else about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, please let us know. That's not a problem. Sorry to bother you. You're welcome. Guozheng personally walked the criminal investigation expert from the provincial capital out of the office. He then returned to his room and lit a cigarette. He actually knows about the Valley of Thousands of Medicine and knows about me. Guozheng picked up his phone and made a call to ask a few questions. I don't. They already know. Well, by what means? We'll talk about it when we meet. Okay. In the mountain village thousands of miles away, Wang Yao had a special guest. Elder sang, "Why are you here?" The person who came was Sanguzi. He did not come alone. He had brought a middle-aged man and a sallow and emaciated young man. They looked to be about 17 or 18 years old. "I have something to trouble you with." "Go ahead," Wang Yao hurriedly replied. He admired the old man and had always regarded himself as a junior. "This child doesn't like to talk much. Take a look at him." "Okay, how long has it been?" "Well, more than a year." Wang Yao carefully examined the young man. Other than his weak body, he did not find any obvious abnormalities. If it was not a physical problem, it had to be a psychological one. Did he have any abnormalities before this illness appeared? His mother passed away, and he became very quiet after that, the middle-aged man said. "Is that so?" Wang Yao was silent for a while. This kind of illness was not easy to treat. "Well, I'll give him a prescription to try," Wang Yao said. "Okay." He thought of the medicine that the pharmacist used to calm the nerves. This young man was probably ill because of his mother's death. Over time, it had accumulated to become what it was now. "Wait a moment." Wang Yao made a pot of tea for Elder Sang and the others. "I'll boil the medicine." "Okay." This time, Wang Yao only used the moonlight herb. The rest of the herbs were from Nanshan. Elder Sang, "Is this the person you're talking about?" "Yes." "Can he really cure Xiao Nan's illness?" "Let's give it a try," Elder Sang said. "At least until now, I haven't seen an illness that he can't treat." "I hope so." Wang Yao finished boiling the medicine and brought it over. He only gave the young man a small cup to drink. "How do you feel?" Wang Yao asked softly. The young man did not speak. He just looked at him quietly. "It doesn't seem to be effective," the middle-aged man said. "It's effective," the young man suddenly said. "What?" "Xiao Nan, what did you say?" the man asked in surprise. He had not heard his son speak to a stranger in such a way for a long time. "It's effective, but the effect is limited," Wang Yao said with a smile. He suddenly reached out and gently touched the young man's forehead. "How do you feel?" "A little bit," the young man called Xiao Nan said again. Cool. Wang Yao nodded with a smile. "Well, let's call it a day." "Call it a day?" "Well, you can go back first. I'll stay and talk to my friend." "Well, I won't disturb you." The middle-aged man left the clinic with his son. "This is the grandson of an old friend. He came to me for help, but I don't have a good way, so I came to see you," Sanguzi said with a smile. "I've seen such an illness before, but it's similar. I don't have absolute confidence," Wang Yao said. The last time he saw such a purely mental illness was the young man who wanted to become a deity. He believed that he was right. This time, the young man closed himself off and did not want to communicate with the outside world. Maybe he knew everything, but he just did not want to talk about it. The consequences were not to be underestimated. This was autism. If left alone without taking the initiative to treat it, the consequences would be terrible. The young man might have to live alone in the future. Chapter 857. In the car outside of the clinic, "Xiaonan, how do you feel?" the middle-aged man asked softly. He hoped that it would work and that his son could recover. "Dad, I'm fine," the boy said. His words made his father smile. In the past, if someone asked him 10 questions, he might not even answer one. Moreover, he was the kind of person who cherished his words as if they were gold. Now, he would answer every question. This was a huge improvement. Of course, this could be purely a coincidence. But there was no such coincidence in the past. My old friend only had one grandson. He has passed away. His son begged me. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come to trouble you, Sanguzi said. "Oh, you're welcome. If you need anything in the future, just tell me," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Don't say that. There's another thing I want to ask you." "Go ahead. Do you accept apprentices here?" "What?" Wang Yao was stunned. "Apprentice? What kind of apprentice?" "A medical student," Sanguzi said. "To tell you the truth, I have accepted an apprentice. He is a doctor in our county hospital," Wang Yao said. "Do you want more?" "I'll be frank with you. I have a grandson who studies traditional Chinese medicine. He's quite smart, but I'm old now. I'm not good at teaching him. His father and uncles are also capable. If you want to accept another disciple, remember to tell me. I'll get that kid to learn from you." Okay, let me think about it. Okay, you came all the way here. Why don't you stay for a meal? No, I came with the father and son. I will go back with them. I have something to deal with at home. I will see you out. He walked Sanguzi to the car and gave him a bag of tea leaves from Nanshan Hill. I grew the tea leaves myself. Try it. Okay, thank you. In the car, the young man named Xiao Nan kept staring at Wang Yao. What's wrong, Xiao Nan? Xiao Nan's father asked softly. Goodbye. The boy raised his hand and waved at Wang Yao. Goodbye, Wang Yao replied with a smile. The middle-aged man was surprised. Sanguzi, this Dr. Wang is really amazing. The middle-aged man praised in the car. His medical skills are indeed extraordinary, Sanguzi said. The middle-aged man looked at his son lovingly. It was the first time in a long time that he saw his son take the initiative to greet someone. The young man sat quietly in the car seat and looked out of the window. No one knew what he was thinking. He didn't like to talk. Since his mother passed away, he felt that the world had become gray. Since it had become gray, there was no point in communicating with the world. Therefore, he closed himself off and became unwilling to communicate with others. He didn't want to talk, even when facing his father and family. Gradually, he found that it was good to be alone and not talk. He just looked at the world quietly and looked at the people around him. He knew everything, but he didn't say anything. He thought it was good. However, his family was worried. How could he grow up without talking? At the very least, he had to answer the teacher's questions in class. Surprisingly, Xiaonan's grades were very good. He was ranked in the top 3 in the grade department. This made his teachers accept the fact that he didn't want to talk. As long as their students were good in their studies, it didn't matter if they didn't talk. Anyway, reading and reciting were not tested in the college entrance examination. His family didn't think so. They took him to see many doctors, but to no avail. Xiaonan had a simple conversation with his father about this. He didn't have any problems, but his father didn't think so. He didn't explain anymore, even when facing his father who loved him the most in the world. He had taken medicine, received psychological cues, and even some special treatment methods. He had seen and accepted them before, but there was no obvious effect. He knew that he had encountered Wang Yao. That medicine made his head feel very cool. However, this was secondary. The key was his finger. It looked very ordinary, but when it touched his forehead, he found that the walls and barriers that he had set up in his mind to isolate himself from the outside world were broken. He had an impulse to speak and communicate with the people around him. This was a feeling that he had not had for a long time. Why? He asked himself more than once. He wanted to ask Dr. Wang, but he held himself back. The middle-aged man drove, while turning his head to look at his son from time to time. Xiaonan, what are you thinking about? Nothing, Xiaonan replied almost subconsciously. I said something more, the middle-aged man thought. He had a comfortable smile on his face. There's progress. There's hope. He was in a good mood. He felt that the autumn scenery outside was much less beautiful. This is really a good place. In the mountain village, Wang Yao recorded the young man's condition separately. It should be effective. When he saw the young man in the car outside the clinic again, he knew that his treatment should have some effect. The eyes were the window to the soul. When he first saw the young man, although his eyes were clear, they were full of vigilance. He was vigilant against him and the world. It was more appropriate to say that he blocked them. He built a city for himself and sealed himself inside. He no longer communicated with the people outside. He only came out occasionally to relax. Just now, he saw that the gate of the city had been opened. The young man took the initiative to talk to him. If he had more time, he would have said a few more words. The medicine was secondary. The key was the aura, wasn't it? He injected his aura into the young man's mind in a unique way with his finger. Then he knocked open the gate. There is also the matter of elders saying, should I accept another disciple? In a mountain village, in Jiazizai's home, Jiazizai was sitting on a futon. After a while, he suddenly jumped up. This is really strange. Why can't I enter the door? He frowned. Zhong Luchuan had taught Jiazizai the same breathing method that Wang Yao had taught him. However, Jiazizai's path of practice was obviously not as smooth as Zhong Luchuan's. He had not touched the threshold. Breathing practice sounded simple, but in fact, it was the most difficult to get started. What was important was the temperament, not the so-called intelligence. Some people were born extremely smart, but once they started practicing, it was very difficult for them to get started. On the contrary, it was not as fast as those who were less talented or even slow-witted. No. He paced back and forth in the room. Hearing him muttering in the room, Hume came over and asked, "What's wrong?" "It's been a few days, but I still can't get started," Jiazazai said. "Are you too impatient?" Hume asked. "Well, I'll go and ask my senior." He was very serious about the path of practice. This could be seen from the way he addressed Zhong Luchuan. There were only the two of them there, but he still called Zhong Luchuan Senior. In fact, even if he was outside, it would not have mattered if he called Zhong Luchuan's name directly. At least, Zhong Luchuan would not have cared. However, he did not. Since he had become a disciple, he had to follow the rules even if Zhong Luchuan did not care. "Okay, I'll go and ask." Jiazazai went out and went to Jiazazai's home. "Senior, what's wrong?" Zhong Luchuan asked with a smile. "I haven't been able to get started." Jiazazai directly told him the purpose of his visit. "You're upset and impatient, so naturally, you can't get started smoothly." Zhong Luchuan directly pointed out the reason. "Didn't Master say that our practice pays attention to the state of mind?" Zhong Luchuan poured a cup of water for Jiazazai. "At first, my practice was very slow," Jiazazai said. "After listening to Master, I began to recite Taoist scriptures. Gradually, I liked it. My state of mind changed, and I became much calmer. The speed of my practice unconsciously increased." Chapter 858. Taoist Scriptures. "Yes," Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. "Besides, it's only been a few days. Why are you in such a hurry?" It was just like what he was doing now. There was nothing specific to do in the village, just chanting sutras and then cultivating. He took his time, and the more he had no desires, the faster his cultivation speed became. Even he himself was surprised by how fast he progressed. "I've been idle for so many days," Jiazazai said. "It's not easy to have something to do. Naturally, I have to be very attentive." "You're counterproductive," Zhong Luchuan said. "Well, that's true. Have some tea." Zhong Luchuan poured a cup of tea. The tea was very fragrant. "Senior, what realm has Sir's cultivation reached?" "I can't say for sure," Zhong Luchuan said after a moment of silence. "What I've seen is just the tip of the iceberg," Jiazazai said. "Sir can travel dozens of meters in one step." "Travel dozens of meters in one step? Is that shrinking the ground into an inch?" Zhong Luchuan asked. "Not exactly, but it's amazing," Zhong Luchuan said. "In addition, when he presses the void, it seems to imprison a space. You've personally experienced how powerful it is." "Ah, it's still incredible when I think about it," Jiazazai said. "I can't resist at all. Zhang Wei, who is like a fierce god in our eyes, is no match for Sir. In fact, sometimes I can't help but think Sir's only 30 years old," Jiazazai said. "Even if he started practicing in his mother's womb, it's only been 30 years. How could he have such superb skills? Where did he learn them from?" These questions had been in Jiazazai's heart for some time. He finally spoke them out today. "Sir's skills were bestowed by heaven," Zhong Luchuan said. "Bestowed by heaven? What do you mean?" "Literally," Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. "Taught by God." "Yes," Zhong Luchuan said. "In fact, I used to have the same questions as you, but I stopped thinking about it later," Zhong Luchuan said. "How did Master get his ability? If he wants to tell us, he will tell us. This is not important. What's important is that we follow him to practice, and we will come into contact with things that we couldn't come into contact with before. These things are what we want to get. Knowing this is enough." Jiazazai said, "Senior brother, you are actually a little similar to Sir in terms of temperament. It was Sir who guided me. All right, after talking to you, I don't feel so anxious anymore. You're right. This isn't a battlefield. There's no need to be so nervous and anxious. It's my fault for being so impatient. Read those Taoist scriptures carefully. Read them with all your heart." "Thank you, senior brother," Jiazazai said seriously. "You are welcome," Zhong Luchuan said. The two of them looked at each other and smiled. Then, Jia Zizai returned home. Hume saw him come back and asked, "Did you understand?" "I understand," Jia Zizai said with a smile. "The problem is with myself. I was too impatient. More haste, less speed." "That's good. I'm going to read some books." "Go ahead." Jia Zizai took a Taoist scripture and leaned back in the chair. He bathed in the sunlight from outside and read softly. He read with all his heart. In the afternoon, a special guest came to the clinic. Lu Jingfeng had rushed over from the capital for the sake of his wife and future child. "Sir, sorry to disturb you." He also changed the way he addressed Wang Yao. "How is your wife?" Wang Yao asked. "Very good," Lu Jingfeng said. "After taking the decoction made by Sir, both the adults and the children are much better than before." He drove there and brought some precious gifts, such as a tea set from Jingda Jun and a few boxes of good tea leaves. Among them, there were Liuan melon slices, Xinyang Maojian tea, and Taiping Hokue tea. These were all high-quality tea leaves of their origin. Ordinary people couldn't buy them with money. He specially went to a few places and used a few days to collect them. "This is just a small gift from me," Lu Zhengfeng said. "I hope Sir can accept it." "This is not a small gift," Wang Yao said. "Sir, I came all the way here." "Okay, I'll accept it," Wang Yao said. "Oh, good. Lu Jingfeng hurriedly said. He was worried that the young man had a strange temper and refused to accept the gifts he brought. That would be troublesome. "Are you in a hurry?" "Ah." Lu Jingfeng was stunned. No hurry. "Wait for 2 days," Wang Yao said. "I'll prepare a decoction for you." "Okay, I'll wait." Lu Jingfeng left his mobile phone number and left the clinic. "Why did you bring back so many things?" When Wang Yao returned home from the clinic with several boxes of tea leaves, his mother was very surprised. "I brought them all by myself. He came all the way here." "Ah, this is really—" Wang Yao smiled and took them into the house. He liked tea, but it was not a hobby. The price of the decoction would be lower after he bought these things. He would not take advantage of such a cheap price. After all, he and Lu Zhengfeng were only doctors and patients. They were not relatives or friends. They had no friendship. That night, on Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao stood on the top of the mountain and looked at the sky. He did not go into the house until after midnight. Strange. Why is tonight's weather so strange? The sky seemed to be the same as usual, but Wang Yao saw some dim aura shrouding this part of the world. This had not happened before. The sky was strange. Something must have happened. What would happen? That night, the mountain village was quiet as usual. The next day, the sun rose as usual. "San Xian, didn't you feel anything unusual last night?" "Woof," San Xian barked. "Okay." Wang Yao nodded and walked around the herbal field. When he walked to the purple-backed dragon teeth, he stopped and looked at them. "I'll have to use a leaf later." Lu Jingfeng had come from Jing to seek medical treatment for his wife. Wang Yao had already prepared the prescription. He was just waiting for this medicine. At that time, these middle-grade licorice roots were not fully mature, but they could be used as medicine. According to Feng Jia's situation, a leaf was enough. He went from Nanshan Hill to Dongshan Hill. Zhong Luchuan and Jia Zizai had been waiting there for a long time. That morning, Jia Zizai saw his amazing ability to shrink into an inch. He was still dozens of meters away, but in the blink of an eye, he was in front of her. Amazing. This was the most suitable adjective he could think of. When can I do it? He was anxious to think of this. Let's start. Okay. He practiced as usual, meditated, and practiced boxing. It was very simple. The time was about an hour. After coming down from the mountain, Jia Zizai felt refreshed. That mountain is unusual. When he returned home, Hume had already prepared breakfast. He washed his face and began to eat. "Honey, let's go to Dongshan Hill together tonight." "What for? To practice with you?" Hume asked with a smile. "Don't you want to?" "It's good that Sir accepted you," Hume said with a smile. "My family is very good. The air on Dongshan Hill is particularly fresh," Jia Zizai said. "It's good for the body to go there." In fact, he felt that if Hume had been apprenticed, Wang Yao would have accepted her. The two of them were husband and wife with the most intimate relationship. He could have taught Hume what Wang Yao taught him, but he didn't teach her at all. Hume didn't ask at all. Okay, I'll go with you. In the Lianshan County People's Hospital, the people in the emergency department were very busy because there were many emergency patients today. Most of them were external injuries. What's going on? Looking at the patients with external injuries, Pan Jun was very puzzled. Ah, don't mention it, a villager said. There was an earthquake in our village. More than a dozen houses collapsed. People are all sleeping. They are not prepared. Earthquake? Why didn't Lianshan County have the slightest reaction? Uncle, are you from that village? Yuan Jiazhuang. What time? 4 or 5 o'clock. It's almost dawn. In the morning, there were more than 20 patients. Most of them had external injuries. Some were very seriously injured, such as fractures or internal injuries. They were all transferred to the relevant departments. Why wasn't there any forecast for this earthquake? Who said there wasn't? I just heard them say that the dogs in the village were barking happily. Chapter 859. Ah, I didn't take it seriously, but I suffered a big loss in the end. Those who came out of their houses after hearing the barking escaped the disaster. Those who were still indifferent to the barking and slept soundly under the quilt and went back to their old houses suffered a great loss. In fact, the intensity of the earthquake this time wasn't particularly strong. However, the location of Yuan Village seemed to be a little special. It was especially close to the epicenter of the earthquake. Therefore, other villages a few miles away from them didn't have any problems. They only felt a few tremors, and most people didn't even feel anything. Earthquake? Can there be an earthquake in Lianshan? After being busy all morning, Pan Jun left the emergency room. He went to a corner outside and lit a cigarette. He then called Wang Yao. Master, there was an earthquake in Lianshan last night. Are you all right? As soon as he heard the news, Wang Yao immediately thought of the dim yellow astronomical phenomenon last night. Earthquake? Where? Yuan Village. It's in Lihu Town, Pan Jun added. He was afraid that Wang Yao did not know the village. Lihu Town. That's in the northwest. Wang Yao thought about the color of the sky last night. Master? Pan Jun did not hurry to hang up the phone. Are there many people injured? There are more than 20 people, Pan Jun said. Most of them have minor injuries. A few people are more seriously injured. No one has died yet. Oh, no one died. That's good. Master, is there anything else? No, I'll leave you to it. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao closed his eyes. The astronomical phenomenon last night appeared in his mind. That's a sign of an earthquake, right? Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in a small county, what do you mean? I've received the news that Captain Yang is going to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, Guozheng has said. I'm afraid he won't be able to find anything even if he goes, Su Xinyuan said. We'll know when we get there, Guozheng has said. I'm a little worried about Captain Yang. Didn't you say that those people are good at using poison? We're counting on him to solve the case here. Guozheng has said. He had investigated the man named Yang Guanfeng, who was a famous criminal investigation expert in Dianan. Moreover, he was a talent trained by the Ministry of Public Security. He had solved many major cases and was very famous. They don't have the guts to do that. Captain Yang is going there on official business. He represents the government. No matter how powerful a village is, no matter how much heritage it has, it's just a village. How can it compete with the local government? Even if they knew that someone had gone to investigate, they still dare to go over directly from the province. I'm afraid that even if they wanted to, they don't have the guts. Besides, they will think of ways to protect Captain Yang's safety. Somewhere in the county, at the office of the Serious Crime Division. What? Why? This is what the province wants. We have to look at the big picture. What big picture? 16 people have already died here. There is evidence that this incident is related to the people in that village. I want to go and take a look. Why don't you agree? There are ethnic minorities there, and it's relatively closed. Why would they go hundreds of miles away to kill people? If I knew so much, this case would be solved. The more they don't let me in, the more it shows that they have a guilty conscience. I have to go in and take a look. Captain Yang's stubborn temper also came up. If it doesn't work, I'll apply to the higher-ups. The higher-ups? Who's the higher-ups? Yang Guanfeng. Pay attention to your attitude. How many times have I told you about your bad temper? Then I'll have to trouble you to communicate with the higher-ups, Yang Guanfeng said in an unfriendly tone. We are trying to solve the case. We have to give an explanation to those who have died. Okay, I got it. The person on the other end of the phone hung up with a very dissatisfied tone. A young man next to him gave him a thumbs up and said, Boss, you are so awesome. You dare to contradict your immediate superior. Investigating such a place actually alarmed the higher-ups, Yang Guanfeng said. I didn't expect that there are so many tricks in the valley of thousands of medicine. Yang Guanfeng said, just as he had said on the phone, the more he was obstructed and the more he was not allowed to go, the more he wanted to go and see what was going on in this so-called valley of thousands of medicine, a forbidden place for outsiders. These old bureaucrats were the most annoying. Hundreds of miles away in the mountains, in an ancient village in a valley, a man with a pale golden complexion stood in front of a man in his 30s in the tallest wooden building in the village. Are you a criminal investigator from the province? Yes. Why are you here? There's a major case in Heian County, hundreds of miles away from here, the middle-aged man said. In a week, 16 people died. It is now confirmed that they all died of poisoning. Poisoning? The middle-aged man, sitting there, narrowed his eyes after hearing that. Yes, they were poisoned, the middle-aged man said. There were clues pointing to the village, so they came to investigate. The case is too big for us to stop, the middle-aged man added. Let them come. It has been so many years, but such guests have rarely come to this village, the middle-aged man said with a smile. Do you have anything else to tell me? No, you can go about your business. Thank you. You are welcome, the man in his 30s hurriedly said. When he turned and walked out of the wooden house, he let out a long sigh of relief. If he could, he would not have come to this place. 16 people poisoned? The middle-aged man, who was still sitting there, thought for a moment and then let out a long whistle. A moment later, a person appeared in front of him. Master, first, there will be guests coming soon, the middle-aged man said. They are public officials. Arrange for everyone to pay attention. Second, find a reliable person to go out and go to a county called Heian. 16 people have died there in the past 2 days. There are clues that it was done by people in the valley. People in the valley? It can't be, the middle-aged man said. The people in the valley haven't gone out recently. Go and find out the situation first, the middle-aged man said. Yes, master. The young man turned and left the wooden house. Are they trying to frame me? The middle-aged man looked up at the roof. I let you go at the beginning, and now you are making trouble again. In the village thousands of miles away, in the clinic, my father felt pain, Wang Ziqing said with a worried look. When did it start? Last night, during dinner, Wang Ziqing said. Bring your uncle here in the afternoon, Wang Yao said. Oh, okay, Wang Ziqing said. After taking Wang Ziqing away, Wang Yao took out his notebook, which recorded the difficult and miscellaneous diseases. Wang Ziqing's father had a typical difficult and miscellaneous disease. It was a terminal illness now, and it was in the late stage. If it were in the past, he would have died long ago. Fortunately, Wang Ziqing had turned over a new leaf. Wang Yao's medicine helped him suppress the pain and delay his life, but in the end, it was just a word of delay. In the end, it could not be completely cured. Try your best. As for the old man's illness, he could try again in his current situation to see if he could reverse the situation and turn the situation around. In the afternoon, Wang Ziqing came to the clinic with his father. Yao, sorry to trouble you, Wang Ziqing said. Don't mention it. Please sit down, uncle, Wang Yao hurriedly said. He then poured a glass of water for the old man. However, the old man's complexion didn't look too good. His complexion was an ominous greenish-gray. Drink some water first, Wang Yao said. Don't be busy. I have already drunk at home, the old man said with a smile. Tell me, where does it hurt? Well, this position. The old man pointed to the place under his right rib. That was where the liver was located. Come on, I'll take a closer look at you. Wang Yao carefully checked the old man. The malignant tumor had spread to the liver, lungs, and lymph nodes. Does it hurt here? Wang Yao pointed to the old man's chest. Well, it hurts from time to time, the old man thought. I see. You go back first. I'll boil the medicine for you. When the medicine is ready, I'll tell Ziqing to come over and get it. "Oh, okay," the old man said with a smile. "Okay." The old man walked a few steps and turned back. "Is there anything else?" "Nothing, nothing." The old man seemed to want to say something, but he swallowed the words back. Chapter 860. "Uncle, just say it," Wang Yao said. "I'm fine. I'm really fine." Wang Yilong waved his hand. "I just want to thank you." "No need." Wang Yao smiled. Wang Yilong and his son, Wang Zicheng, left the clinic. Sigh. Wang Yao heard the sigh of the old man when he went out. Why did he sigh? "Dad, what did you want to say to Wang Yao?" "Zicheng, you spent a lot of money to treat Dad, right?" "Well, not a lot." Wang Yao said that we are all from the same village, and you are his elder, so the medicine prescribed is cheaper. I always feel like I owe him. How about we not treat this disease?" "How can that be?" I asked Wang Yao. "You're almost recovered. You can recover after taking a few more courses of medicine. At this time, we can't waste all our previous efforts." "Really?" The old man was stunned. "Hey, why would I lie to you about this?" Wang Zicheng asked with a smile, then continued to take medicine. "Ah, that's right." The father and son talked and returned home together. The old man returned to his room and looked outside. His grandson was playing in the yard. In the past few months, his son seemed to have changed into a different person. From the well-known unfilial son in the village to the filial son. His son treated him very well, as if he was trying to make up for his past mistakes. This made him very happy. This kind of life was what he wanted. However, during this period, his son had been working very hard outside. He went out early and came back late. He suffered a lot. His health was not very good now, so he could not add any income to the family. On the contrary, he had to take medicine all day. This was a burden, so he wanted to reduce this burden. He sighed again. When he was old, he would be a useless person. Wang Zicheng's wife saw her husband come back and asked softly, "How is Dad?" "Not good." Wang Zicheng shook his head gently. "Then what should we do?" Wang Yao said that he would modify the medicine. "Will it work?" Wang Zicheng's wife asked. "Let's give it a try," Wang Zicheng said. "Who can be absolutely sure about this disease? Our father doesn't know about this yet. You have to pay attention to it. Don't let it slip." Wang Zicheng did not forget to remind him. "Don't worry, I know what to do." Until now, his father was still kept in the dark. He thought that he had just contracted an ordinary illness and that it was nothing serious. Furthermore, he had been using Wang Yao's decoction to delay his recovery. His body didn't feel any discomfort, so he didn't think too much about it. "That's going to cost a lot, right?" "I haven't asked him about this in detail. Why don't you find some time to ask?" "Yes, no matter how much it costs, we have to treat our father." In the clinic, Wang Yao was thinking about Wang Yilong's illness. Wang Yilong's illness had already spread and was in the late stage. The medicine he used in the past only temporarily slowed down the process. Next, he definitely had to change it. To treat such a malignant disease, which was now recognized as an incurable disease, ordinary medicinal materials certainly had no effect. He had to use magic herbs, malignant tumor, plowing grass to remove ulcers, Sijan to clear heat, detoxify, and remove sarcoma. These two medicines were so far the only medicines he had that could obviously treat tumors. Ling Shanji to disperse evil and drive away evil spirits. Muscle growth and relieve pain. Bajiatong to clear heat, detoxify, remove blood stasis, and relieve pain. The main role of these two medicines was to relieve pain, because the disease would make the patient feel unbearable pain. The other role was to detoxify, disperse evil, and drive away evil spirits. According to the theory of traditional Chinese medicine, malignant tumors were evil. It was a kind of heat poison. The four licorice roots had very important roles. In addition, they also needed medicine that could consolidate the corporeity. They could use Ganoderma lucidum, Shanjing, and ginseng, but they needed to be less. In addition, they needed medicinal materials that could harmonize the main medicine. The Guyuan of licorice was very suitable. Licorice also had this role, but after all, it was an ordinary thing. In the face of various licorice roots, it was somewhat powerless. These Wang Yao was thinking as he recorded. This medicine required at least 6 types of spiritual herbs. It should be enough. In the end, a prescription was formed. Plowing grass, Xijan, Lingshanji, Bajiatong, Shanjing, Guyuan, and Ganoderma lucidum. He boiled the medicine at night. There were not many patients in the clinic today. There were 2 in the morning, but no one in the afternoon. It was leisurely today. In the afternoon, when Wang Yao closed the door and went out, he happened to meet Jia Zizai and Humei running together in the direction of Dongshan Mountain. Sir, running? Yes, let's go out and run. Okay. After saying hello, Wang Yao walked slowly in the direction of home. Why haven't I seen Sir run? Humei asked with a smile. Sir practiced on Nanshan Hill in the morning, Jia Zizai said. Nanshan Hill? Yes, Nanshan Hill, Jia Zizai said. I haven't been there yet. Senior has been there? You should have been there. That is where Sir practices. I heard there is a battle array. Battle array? Yes, the kind that can't come out after you go in. Is it so magical? I haven't seen it. I only heard about it from Senior. By the way, when we get there, I'll show you the woods at the foot of the mountain. The 2 of them chatted while running. Soon, they arrived at the woods at the foot of Nanshan Hill. In the past, they would not have come to this place because they knew the rules. But now, he was Wang Yao's disciple. He could come here. Let's go in and have a try. The 2 of them entered the woods. There was no obvious path under their feet. They reached the depths of the woods. Well, look back, Jia Zizai said with a smile. Humei turned around and found that it was still the same woods behind her. She could see the situation outside through the woods. It seemed that there was nothing wrong. I didn't find anything unusual. What's wrong? Try to go out and have a look. Humei walked back along the way she came. After walking for less than a dozen steps, she found something wrong. No. She turned around and found that Jia Zizai was still standing there. She walked toward him. It was less than 30 feet away, but she found that the distance between them was getting farther and farther. What's going on? She stood there and looked down at the road under her feet. Then, she looked up at Jia Zizai in front of her. She looked at the trees around her. She tentatively took 2 steps and marked the tree she passed. Then, she continued to walk forward. She found that she was walking around a tree. Turn right when you see a poplar tree. Go straight when you see a eucalyptus tree. Jia Zizai's voice came. Humei followed his instructions and walked to his side. How do you feel? It's amazing, Humei exclaimed. Sir is really amazing. We can't go any further, Jia Zizai said. The battle array at the foot of the mountain is so powerful. The battle array on the mountain must be even more magical. Let's go to Dongshan Mountain. The 2 of them left the woods and followed a small path up Dongshan Mountain. Zhong Luchuan had already started practicing there. Brother, you're here too? Yes, I came out to exercise. Okay. They practiced or exercised on a mountain. Dongshan Mountain and Nanshan Mountain were close together. They could see Nanshan Mountain from there, but they couldn't see Wang Yao's hut or the herbal field. Does Sir live on the mountain at night? As long as he is in the village, he basically lives on the mountain at night. Squawk. There was a scream. A goshawk hovered in the sky. What a big goshawk! That's one of the 3 generals on the mountain, Zhong Luchuan said. General? Yes. Sir said that they are mountain guardians and are very spiritual. What are the other 2? Zhong Luchuan asked. A native dog, but it looks like a lion and is very majestic, Jia Zizai said with a smile. There is also a snake, which I have never seen before. Sir is extraordinary, Zhong Luchuan said. His pets are also extraordinary. Ah, that's not right. After hearing Jia Zizai's words, Zhong Luchuan hurriedly said, Sir specifically said that they are not pets, but his friends. Chapter 861. Yes, we are friends, Jia Zizai said. The goshawk circled in the sky a few times before flying off into the distance. On Dongshan Mountain, Zhong Luchuan and Jia Zizai practiced while Humei walked around. When she reached the border between Dongshan Mountain and Nanshan Mountain, she stopped. She just stood there and looked around. The trees on Nanshan Mountain were lush. Even though it was late autumn, there were no yellow leaves. It seemed out of place with the surrounding yellow and bleak autumn scenery. The sky gradually darkened. Well, let's call it a day, Humei said. Okay. The two brothers ended their practice. Jia Zizai and Humei went down the mountain first. Zhong Luchuan stayed on Nanshan Mountain for a while before leaving. You haven't been to Nanshan Mountain either? No, Jia Zizai said. Have you noticed that the feeling on Dongshan Mountain is completely different from the feeling at the foot of the mountain? Humei asked. She felt that her breathing was smoother than when she was on the mountain. She felt very comfortable all over her body. That kind of feeling was something she had not felt for many years at the foot of the mountain. I feel it. Why? The air circulation on the mountain is smoother, Humei said. Moreover, there are more trees on the mountain, so the natural air is fresher. No, these are all secondary factors. What do you think is the reason? Jia Zizai asked. I don't know, Humei said. Didn't your senior tell you? He didn't say, and I didn't ask. It should be some kind of special battle array, Humei said with a smile. Haven't you noticed that the situation on Nanshan Mountain is different from the surrounding areas? I noticed, Jia Zizai said. The trees on the mountain are extraordinarily lush. Even in autumn, they are still lush and have no leaves. It's amazing. I think this is also something Sir has found a way to do, Humei said. Nanshan Mountain should be like spring all year round. Do you want to go up and have a look? No, Humei said. Haven't you noticed that your senior doesn't want to go up? Or he is very restrained from going up? I feel that it should be a forbidden area, Humei said. Without Sir's permission, no one can go up. Let's go. What do you want to eat tonight? Let's eat something bland. I have some thoughts after reading the Tao scriptures today. Let's eat something bland. Jia Zizai said with a smile. He was not joking, and he was telling the truth. He had been reading the scriptures for the past 2 days, and he had gained some insights. He felt calmer. Okay, Humei smiled and went to prepare dinner. Soon, night fell and darkness enveloped the land. There was a dim yellow light on Nanshan Hill. In the small house, the firewood was burning, making crackling sounds. Wang Yao sat quietly at the side, adding more firewood from time to time. That night, he went up the mountain earlier than usual. He had prepared all kinds of herbs for the purpose of decocting the medicine. The medicinal herbs were added one by one, and the medicinal soup was slowly boiling. The medicinal aroma filled the entire house and then drifted out. Outside, the dog lying in the kennel smelled the aroma and raised its head to look into the house. Then, it continued to lie in the kennel and sleep. Looks like it's almost time. He looked at the color change of the medicinal soup and asked about the change of the aroma. With the passage of time, the medicinal properties of the various herbs were all steamed out and integrated into the medicinal decoction. Gui Yuan. This medicine harmonized yin and yang and integrated all kinds of medicinal efficacy. It was indispensable. Well, it's done. The medicine was ready. When the medicine naturally cooled to a certain temperature, he put it into a bottle. After he finished decocting the decoction, he was ready to decoct another decoction. It was a decoction to prevent miscarriage. This decoction was actually based on the decoction he decocted for Feng Jiao last time in Jing City. He added Zibei Long Fong to it. This decoction had a special effect that other decoctions did not have. It nourished the mind and calmed the fetus. That night, the two medicines were decocted until late at night. After packing up his things, he turned off the lights and went to sleep. The next morning, he still got up very early and went to the mountain. He practiced martial arts at the top of Nanshan Hill and then went to Dongshan Hill. Zhong Luchuan and Jia Zizai both came to Dongshan Hill to practice in the early morning. He would also stay to watch and give guidance from time to time. Zhong Liuchuan's practice had gradually entered a good state, mainly because his state of mind had improved very quickly. It was consistent with the artistic conception of the practice. Jia Zizai was a little worse. Fortunately, he seemed to have reached the threshold in the past 2 days, and his heart had calmed down. The next step was to let nature take its course and practice diligently. At around 8 a.m., Wang Yao went down the mountain and returned home. After breakfast, he went to the clinic. He called Lu Zhengfeng and told him to come over to pick up the medicine. In less than an hour, Lu Zhengfeng rushed over from Lianshan County. Sir, this is the medicine, Wang Yao said. The way to take it is the same as the previous one. After taking it, Bring her back for a follow-up in 10 days. Okay, thank you. Lu Jingfeng received the potion and was very happy. Then, he paid the fee happily. He then asked Wang Zuqing to bring his father over. The old man's complexion seemed to be worse than yesterday. His eyes were dim. Uncle, did you not sleep well last night? Well, I had a lot of dreams, the old man said. He did not know why, but he did have a lot of dreams last night. One time, he was herding sheep on the mountain. As a result, the sheep ran away. He chased them all over the mountain. Another time, it suddenly snowed heavily. The crops in the field were frozen to death. He was anxious. There was another dream. He dreamed that he fell into the water. No matter how hard he swam, he could not reach the shore. This made him very anxious. He wanted to call for help, but he could not. Anyway, it was not a good dream that night. Come on, drink this bowl of medicine first. Wang Yao handed the old man a bowl of medicine. It was the medicine brewed with several kinds of licorice roots last night to treat his malignant tumor. Okay. The old man drank the warm medicine in one gulp. After about half an hour, Wang Yao continued to check his pulse. Do you feel anything? Wang Yao asked. Well, I just feel that my stomach is hot. These two places are particularly hot. He pointed to his abdomen. Okay, lie down and take off your clothes. Wang Yao asked him to lie down. He took off his clothes and began to insert the needles. His way of inserting the needles was somewhat unique. Sometimes it was fast, sometimes it was slow. He did not insert the needles all at once. After a while, he inserted the needles into several acupoints. This time, he used some of the newly learned knowledge and skills. An hour passed unknowingly. The old man only felt that some parts of his body were hot, and some parts were still faintly painful. There were several different feelings on his body. Uncle, how do you feel? Wang Yao asked. Ah, that's good, the old man thought. If you tell me the truth, it will be convenient for my next treatment. Wang Yao smiled. He knew that the old man's body definitely felt different. Different parts of the body felt different. The old man immediately told him his feelings in detail. Okay, I see. Get up and put on your clothes. After another half an hour, Wang Yao checked the old man's pulse. Okay, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you. Wang Zuqing said. How about the money for the medicine? You can take me back first. Okay, I'll come back later, Wang Zuqing said. He helped the old man out of the clinic. Dad, how do you feel? Wang Yao asked. Ah, I feel strange, Wang Zuqing said. It's not comfortable. I still feel a little warm, but I feel like I have strength when I get up in the morning. That's good, Wang Yao said. I don't need you to take me home, Wang Yilong said to his son. It's so close to home. I'll go back by myself. You should hurry back and pay the consultation fee. He has helped us a lot. We can't owe him. I'll take you home first, Wang Yao said. I'll pay the bill later. It's just a few steps away. After Wang Zuqing sent his father home, he went out of the house and came to the clinic. Well, how much is the medicine this time? Wang Zuqing asked. The same as last time, Wang Yao said. This medicine used 6 kinds of licorice roots. Although the number was different and some were more and some were less, they were absolutely precious. A few thousand yuan was far from being able to buy them. Even the price of 1 kind of licorice root was not worth it. Oh, okay. Wang Zuqing secretly breathed a sigh of relief. He was really worried that the medicine fee would increase. In that case, he would not be able to afford it. Go back and carefully observe the changes in your uncle. If there are any problems, come to me in time. Oh, okay, I know. Thank you. Okay, let's go back. Wang Zuqing came out of the clinic and returned home. He went directly to his father's room. The old man was drinking water. Did you pay for the medicine? Yes. How much? 500 yuan. Wang Zuqing lied. Oh, that's okay. Chapter 862. The price was still acceptable to the old man. Would you like to drink some water and rest? Ah, I'm not very tired, Wang Yilong said with a smile. Wang Yilong said with a smile. When he went to the clinic just now, he still felt a little sleepy. But after taking the medicine and the acupuncture, he felt a lot more energetic and not so tired. I'll go to the field to have a look. Go ahead. Now, in addition to going to work, Wang Zicheng was also very concerned about the medicine in the field. Wang Yao had said that as long as the medicinal materials were received, there was no need to worry about sales. He also knew that a pharmaceutical factory had been built in town. The relationship between Wang Yao and the boss was unusual. When the time came to purchase medicinal materials, he would definitely consider the people in his village first. So far, only his family and Wang Fengming's family grew medicinal materials in the entire village, and they had been expanding their scale. In the herbal field on the mountain, the medicinal materials were growing well. When I harvest them, I hope I can sell them for a good price. In the mountain village, there were not many sources of income. As the saying went, those who relied on the mountain lived off the mountain, and those who relied on the river lived off the water. The only way to make money on the mountain was to grow food and trees. Now, there was one more way: growing medicinal materials. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, a car was driving slowly in the dense jungle. The road ahead was not wide and was a dirt road. It was the kind of road that could barely allow a car to pass through. It was full of potholes. Two people were sitting in the car, Yang Guanfeng and a young man who looked about 30 years old. Damn, what kind of broken road is this? Don't the people from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine need to go out? The young man muttered with dissatisfaction. Fortunately, we got a four-wheel drive off-road vehicle in advance. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been able to get in at all. He sighed. Along the way, his butt was about to fall apart. I don't know why people still live in such a broken place. Hey, don't talk nonsense, Yang Guanfeng said. I checked the local county records before I came. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine was originally a mountain village with a history of at least 400 years. More than 400 years? Since the Ming Dynasty? The young man was surprised. It has existed since at least the Ming Dynasty, or maybe even earlier, Yang Guanfeng said. TSK. I didn't expect it to have such a long history. Be careful when you go in, Yang Guanfeng said. Don't say what you shouldn't say, and don't do anything. I know, Yang Guanfeng said. Yes. Yang Guanfeng nodded and lit a cigarette. Boss, we won't be in any danger this time, right? The young man asked. What danger? Well, don't they know how to use poison and goo? If we go in like this, won't we die unknowingly? Or after we come out, a few years later, bugs will suddenly burst out from our bodies and crawl out from our eyes, ears, and noses, eating our internal organs and flesh clean. We will die in extreme pain. The more the young man spoke, the more excited he became. I told you a long time ago to read less of those novels, Yang Guanfeng said. It's easy to let your imagination run wild if you read too many of those novels. You didn't listen. What's a goo worm? The young man continued to ask. It should be a special kind of parasite. To be honest, I don't want to see it. Yang Guanfeng blew out a smoke ring. The car continued to move forward with difficulty in the dense forest. The road seemed to be getting narrower. There shouldn't be a dead end ahead, right? Just as the young man was a little worried, the road in front of him became a little wider and flatter, and the car moved faster. In the forest, a figure flashed past the treetops. Did you hear anything? Yang Guanfeng looked up at the trees around him. Sound? What sound? I didn't hear anything. Maybe I heard wrong. Yang Guanfeng looked outside again. They drove in the forest for 3.5 hours before they saw a canyon. The entrance to the canyon was a big river with only a drawbridge over it. There was a wooden fence blocking the way inside. It's here, Yang Guanfeng said. Damn, we're finally here. The drawbridge was not wide, less than 2 meters. The car obviously could not pass through it. The two of them could only get out of the car and choose to walk in. Oh, the bones of my body are about to fall apart, the young man said as he moved his body. Boss. He found Yang Guanfeng looking into the canyon. This is a naturally dangerous place. It's easy to defend and difficult to attack, Yang Guanfeng said after observing for a while. A naturally dangerous place? What kind of society are we in now? A few planes can raise any naturally dangerous place to the ground. What did I tell you when we were in the car? You should at least keep your mouth shut. Let's go to the valley. Creak, creak. The drawbridge was swaying. Below it was the turbulent river. Don't break it. Shut your crow's beak. Yang Guanfeng roared. The two of them crossed the drawbridge without any danger. A young man was waiting outside the valley. Hello, my name is Miao Qingfeng. Welcome to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Thank you, Yang Guanfeng said and made an introduction. Please. Miao Qingfeng led the way in front and took the two of them into the valley. The buildings in the valley were built along the terrain. They were all wooden houses and main buildings. There were no reinforced concrete buildings. They maintained a natural and primitive flavor. The people inside were also wearing coarse clothes. It seemed that the craftsmanship was also primitive. There was not even a bicycle there. The two of them seemed to have returned from modern society to ancient society. Here. Well, do you have a TV and computer here? The young man asked curiously. Yes, but very little, Miao Qingfeng said with a smile. Oh, that's good. I thought I had traveled to ancient times. Miao Qingfeng led the way in front and took them to the outside of the largest wooden house in the valley. Please wait a moment. I'll go in and say something. Okay. After a while, he came out of the house and invited the two of them into the wooden house. In the wooden house, they saw a middle-aged man in his 40s. His face was pale gold, and his eyes were bright. Welcome, guests from afar. Sorry to disturb you, Yang Guanfeng said. My name is Miaoshi River, and I'm the chief of this village. I don't know why you two distinguished guests have come from afar. What can I do for you? Here's the thing, Yang Guanfeng said. There's a major case hundreds of miles away. There is evidence that the person who committed the crime has a certain connection with the Valley of Thousands of Medicine. So, we came to check it out and see if we can find any useful information. He did not hide anything and directly told the truth. What are the characteristics of the deceased? Miaoshi River asked. There is no abnormality, Yang Guanfeng said. It's just that a toxin was found in their bodies. Miaoshi River was silent for a while. I don't know how you got the news. Are you sure that this matter has something to do with us? I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that, Yang Guanfeng said. He could not say that he relied on a piece of information that he did not know who sent to the office. Well, let Qingfeng take you around and see if you can find any useful clues. Okay, I'll have to trouble you. You're welcome. After coming out of the wooden house, they began to wander around the village. Miao Qingfeng was like a tour guide, introducing them to the situation in the village one by one, including how many people there were and what they did on a daily basis. As Yang Guanfeng listened, he observed carefully. The people in the mountain village were still engaged in traditional farming. They relied on farming to maintain their livelihood. They worked at sunrise and rested at sunset. What he saw on their faces was tranquility and peace. They were very satisfied. This might be the paradise that Tao Yuanming had mentioned. Why is it called the Valley of Thousands of Medicine? Yang Guanfeng suddenly asked. Because there are thousands of herbs here, Miao Qingfeng said with a smile. Thousands of herbs? That many? Yes, there are treasures everywhere in the mountains around us, Yang Guanfeng said. You know that the Miao medicine in Miaojiang is very famous. This mountain village has a unique method of preparing the Miao medicine. If the two of you feel uncomfortable, you can tell us. We can prescribe a few prescriptions here. I guarantee that the medicine will be able to cure the disease. Is that true? Of course it's true. My neck has been hurting recently, the young man said with a smile. Can you take a look at what's going on? I don't know about this, the Miao Qingfeng said with a smile. Let's go. I'll take you to find someone who knows. Slap. Yang Guanfeng slapped the young man on the back of his head. Oh, Captain, what are you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. The Miao Qingfeng took the two of them to a bamboo house. There was an old man in his 60s inside. The old man's hair was gray, but he was in good spirits. When he saw the Miao Qingfeng bring people in, the two of them were very surprised. Chapter 863. The conversation between the Miao Qingfeng and the old man was in their local language. It was difficult for outsiders to understand. Boss, what are they talking about? They are praising you for being handsome, the Miao Qingfeng said. That can't be. What do you think? Yang Guanfeng asked. They're using the local dialect. It is even a language that only the people in their stockade know. Do you think I can understand it? The young man was a little dumbfounded. He did not expect the captain to make such a joke. He said he could take a look at you. The Miao Qing Feng said to the two of them with a smile. Well, take a look at him first. The Miao Qing Feng pointed to the young man next to him. Why me? You are heaty. I have to take a look. Boss, what makes you think I am heaty? Bad breath. That's because I ate stinky tofu. Okay, don't talk so much nonsense. The old man did not check the pulse, but looked. He stared at the person and asked questions. The young man could not understand what he said. Fortunately, there was an interpreter next to him. When a Miao Qing Feng asked questions, the young man answered. The old man looked at the young man's tongue and lifted it to look at the young man's chest, abdomen, and back. How are you? The young man originally thought that he was fine, but now his heart was in a mess. Could it be that there was really something wrong with him? Didn't we just have a physical examination last month? Weren't you very healthy at that time? Yang Guanfeng asked. Yes, I passed all the indicators at that time, but this old man kept looking and touching me. It made me feel uneasy. At this time, the old man began to speak in the local language. The two of them, who were outsiders, could not understand at all. He said you were fine, but you haven't had a good rest recently. You should pay attention to rest more, the Miao Qing Feng said. Oh, that's good. The young man was relieved. You, on the other hand. The Miao Qing Feng pointed to Yang Guanfeng. There's a problem with your body. Oh, what's the problem? Yang Guanfeng didn't ask, but the young man beside him was a little anxious. Although this captain was usually very stubborn and fiery, and would not even give face to his superiors when he was angry, he was still very good to them. Whenever there was good news, he would always think of them. Therefore, these people were very respectful and grateful to this captain. Now that they heard that he had a problem with his body, they were very nervous. To put it bluntly, they were more nervous than if they had a problem with their body. There are problems with his intestines and kidneys, the old man said. Miao Qing Feng said from aside. Ah, is it serious? The young man asked hurriedly. It's not very serious, but it needs to be treated. First of all, it needs to be regulated. Also, it needs to be treated with medicine, the old man said. The Miao Qing Feng added. Do you want me to prescribe you some medicine? Sure, Yang Guanfeng said without hesitation. Sure. Wait a minute. You can't buy the medicine here. I promise you will feel the effects immediately after you take one dose. Miao Qing Feng said. Then I have to thank you properly, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. He knew that there was something wrong with his body. It was detected during the last physical examination. His intestines were not good, and there were some stomach ulcers. It had a lot to do with his irregular work, rest, and diet. The old man went into the room. After a while, he came out with a package. There are 7 doses of medicine in it. Take 1 dose a day. Wake up early and eat 1.5 hours later. Don't forget, after 7 days, you will be cured, the Miao Qing Feng said. Okay, thank you. How much is it? Yang Guanfeng took out his wallet. The old man waved his hand. It's free. How can that be? Yang Guanfeng disagreed. He took out 500 yuan and handed it to the old man. No, the old man was not very happy. You have to take it. Otherwise, I will be suspected of taking bribes. Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. No way. Is this also considered taking bribes? The Miao Qing Feng said with a smile. Besides, there are only a few of us. If I don't say anything and he doesn't say anything, who will know? You know I know and God knows. You can talk to this old man and take it. Okay. The Miao Qing Feng said a few words to the old man. The old man took the money. Ah, that's right. I feel more at ease this way, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. Shall we continue? Let's continue. The 3 of them continued to wander around the village. They met some villagers on the way. The Miao Qing Feng took the initiative to greet them. When they met the children, they had a big fuss with them. It could be seen that the people in the village got along very well. The folk customs were very simple. It should be because they did not have much contact with the outside world that some ancient things could be passed down. Captain Yang, how do you feel? The Miao Qing Feng asked with a smile. The people here are very simple, and they seem to be very satisfied. Yes, they were satisfied. Along the way, he saw satisfied smiles on the faces of the people he passed by. He was an old criminal police officer for many years. He knew what was real and what was fake. The expressions of these people were not fake. They were real. They should be very satisfied with their current lives, regardless of whether they were old or young. There were children. What about their school? There is a school in the village. There are people who teach them, the Miao Qing Feng said. What about high school? What about college? Then they have to go outside to study. I calculated when I came here. The nearest town is more than 2 hours away by car. If there are children who want to go to school, it will be very inconvenient, right? It is more or less inconvenient. They can live outside, the Miao Qing Feng said. Well, sorry, I was curious. I asked more. It's okay. The Miao Qing Feng smiled. Yang Guanfeng walked around the stockade, but didn't find anything unusual. Captain Yang, it's already noon. After walking for so long, you should be hungry. Shall I take you to try the food in our village? Sure, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. The location of the meal was at the Miao Qingfeng's home. The cook was the Miao Qingfeng's sister. She was a very beautiful girl. The food was very fragrant. The ingredients were all local delicacies. The taste was not only delicious, but the cooking method was also very unique. Coupled with the secret seasoning, the taste was very good. Well, it's delicious. The young man kept giving her a thumbs up. Thank you, the Miao Qingfeng's sister said with a smile. When she smiled, she was even more beautiful. The young man was stunned. Slap! Yang Guanfeng kicked him under the table. Brat, don't embarrass me here. Captain Yang, would you like to drink some wine? No, thank you. Yang Guanfeng refused. This is homemade wine. The alcohol content is not high. No, thank you. The Miao Qing Feng smiled after hearing that. That's a pity. You can't drink this wine outside. The young man stared at the wine jar. He was actually a wine lover. He liked to taste good wine. Would you like to drink some? No, I still have to drive. Why drive? Stay here tonight and leave tomorrow. After sleeping for a night, you will naturally sober up. If you like to drink, drink some, Yang Guanfeng said. Of course, there were rules, but sometimes they had to be appropriately flexible. He was a person who knew how to be flexible. As long as it did not involve matters of principle, he would turn a blind eye to some things and let it pass. This was one of the reasons why his subordinates liked to follow him so much. Okay, thank you, Chief. Why don't you drink some too? No, didn't the doctor just say that my stomach is not good? I can't drink for the time being. This wine has a lot of medicinal herbs added, Yang Guanfeng said. It has health benefits. Not only will it not increase the burden on your stomach, but it can also treat diseases. Drink some, Chi. Okay, I'll drink some. Yang Guanfeng only drank a little. The taste of the wine was not spicy. It had a unique fragrance. It was slightly sweet in the mouth. It was very delicious. It felt like fruit wine. Well, it's delicious. The young man took a sip and praised. You can't drink this kind of wine outside, the Miao Qing Feng said. While drinking, Yang Guanfeng asked some questions. A few of them were related to the case, but most of them had nothing to do with the case. After eating, they took a short rest. They then left the bamboo building. Thank you for your hospitality. You're welcome. When the girl returned home to clean up the dishes, she found a few hundred yuan under the place where Yang Guanfeng had been sitting. What's this? She was a little startled. She then understood what he meant. What a strange outsider, the girl muttered. Where are you going? Hey, there's a lake over there. Yang Guanfeng pointed to a lake not far away. Ah, yes, let's go and have a look. Let's have a look. They came to the side of the lake. The lake looked big, and the water was very clear. There was a small island in the middle of the lake. There were a few boats beside the lake. What kind of lake is this? Vanilla Lake, the Miao Qing Feng said. Vanilla Lake, a good name. Do you see the small island in the middle? There's a unique plant on that island. It is a kind of grass that emits a unique fragrance. This grass is a kind of medicinal material, a precious medicinal material. Yang Guanfeng nodded. They walked around the lake. Can we go up the mountain and have a look? He pointed to the mountain not far behind him. Yes, but there are some places that we can't go. The people who died in our stockade are buried there. Understood. The Miao Qing Feng took them up the mountain along the slightly rugged mountain road. Standing halfway up the mountain, they could see the overall appearance of the stockade. The arrangement of the buildings was very regular. Yang Guanfeng's gaze fell on the lake, the one they had just seen. Chapter 864. Looking from this direction, the surface of the lake looked a little strange, greenish-black. What's in the lake? Yang Guanfeng suddenly asked such a question. Ah, there are fish. The Miao Qingfeng paused, then replied with a smile. Oh, I'm just curious. Don't mind me, Yang Guanfeng said as he looked at the quiet lake. Ah, it's okay. The Miao Qingfeng smiled. It was a strange feeling. Yang Guanfeng just felt that the lake was a little strange. How should he put it? Looking at it from such a distance, he felt a little creepy. It was as if there was something in the lake. He did not feel that way when he was by the lake. Buzz, buzz. Just as they continued to go up the mountain, they suddenly heard a noise. They looked at the source of the sound and saw a group of black, flying insects. They looked like bees but were smaller in size. What are these? Yang Guanfeng pointed at the flying insects. Be careful. These are poisonous bees from the mountain, the Miao Qingfeng hurriedly said when he saw the situation. Buzz, the poisonous bees seemed to have been stimulated by something. They actually took the initiative to attack the three of them. Back off! As the Miao Qingfeng shouted, he quickly took out a rope-like thing from his body and lit it. Immediately, there was a pungent smoke coming out. He kept shaking it in the air, and the smoke quickly drifted away. The poisonous bees seemed to be very afraid of the smoke. They hovered in the air and did not dare to approach it. Let's go down the mountain. Yang Guanfeng and the young man did not dare to stay any longer. They immediately went down the mountain. The few of them went down the mountain safely. Phew, why did those poisonous bees suddenly attack us? The young man asked. These poisonous bees are territorial. They will take the initiative to attack creatures that enter their territory, the Miao Qingfeng explained. What will happen if you are stung by them? The consequences will be poisoning, red and swollen, fever, and vomiting. Well, it will not be life-threatening. We have a special antidote in our stockade. Are there many of these poisonous bees on the mountain? Yes, it's not just this type of poisonous insect. There are dozens of poisonous snakes and insects that I know of. There are many more that I don't know. Anyway, this mountain is not as peaceful as it looks. The Miao Qingfeng smiled. What did you burn just now? It's a mixture of several herbs that can repel insects, but the taste is a little strange. After going up the mountain, they came down again. Unknowingly, they came to the lake again. To be precise, Yang Guanfeng took the initiative to walk toward the lake. This lake feels so weird. He approached the lake again and quietly looked at it. Suddenly, he felt that his body was inexplicably cold as he stood beside the lake. This lake was like a huge beast that was hibernating and could devour him at any time. This feeling was really strange. What's the matter, Chief? Seeing that Yang Guanfeng had been staring at the lake, the young man beside him asked softly. Nothing. I just have a very strange feeling, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile after coming back to his senses. How do you feel? I feel that this lake is a little strange. Just after he said this, he found that the Miao Qingfeng, who was not far away from him, had an unnatural expression. It was only for a moment before it disappeared. Well, there's really a problem. How strange, the Miao Qingfeng asked with a smile. I feel that this lake is like a monster that could devour me at any time, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. There was no need to lie about this kind of thing. Huh? The Miao Qingfeng laughed after hearing this. Why are you laughing, Mr. Miao? Is there really a monster in this lake? Well, how should I put it? There are big fish in this lake. How big? The biggest one I have ever seen should be more than 3 meters long. There should be even longer ones. It is not an exaggeration to call them monsters. That big. Of course, this lake is very special, and it has never dried up. It has existed for who knows how many years before a village was built. Maybe it has a history of thousands of years. It is not surprising that there is anything in it for such a long time. What do you think? People have died in here, right? Yang Guanfeng suddenly asked. Huh. The Miao Qingfeng was stunned. They have indeed died, and more than one. You are quite honest. Hey, what is there to hide? The Miao Qingfeng said with a smile. How did they die? They drowned. Then why do they still dare to go fishing in the lake? They could have gotten into a car accident while walking, the Miao Ching Feng said. Did they just hide at home all day and not go out? They could have choked to death when drinking water. Did they not drink water at all? Although these words were a bit unreasonable, they were not completely unreasonable. What you said seems to make a bit of sense. Of course. Where else do you want to see? You have the final say here, young Guanfeng said with a smile. Okay, I will continue to show you around. Yang Guanfeng took the two of them around the mountain village again. Unknowingly, the sky gradually darkened. The accommodation has been arranged for the two of you. In the evening, our chief wants to host a banquet to entertain the two of you. Please thank the chief for his kindness for me, Yang Guanfeng said. We better make do with some food. How can that be? You're a distinguished guest from outside. Besides, there are only a few outsiders in our village all year round, the Miao Ching Feng said with a smile. Okay then. The sky gradually darkened. Yang Guanfeng and his colleague went to the largest wooden house in the village to see the chief of the stockade again. Are the two of you satisfied today? Satisfied, very satisfied, Yang Guanfeng replied with a smile. That's good. The chief of the Miaoxi River had prepared a sumptuous dinner to entertain the two guests. It was the specialty food of the stockade. It was natural, delicious, nutritious, and nourishing. Come, let me toast you. Thank you. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. The two of them drank a little that night, but it was just a small amount. They ate a lot of food. Thank you for your hospitality, Chief Miao. You are welcome. You are a guest from afar. Our stockade is remote. We rarely see guests all year round. After dinner, the two of them were brought to the residence that had been prepared for the two of them. It was a wooden house that was very clean. Ah, Chief, the food here is really delicious. The wine is also delicious. Well, what else is there? Yang Guanfeng kept walking back and forth in the house as he spoke. He searched around as if he was looking for something. Chief, I think the Miao Ching Feng didn't tell us the truth today. Well, such as, he said that the people in this stockade haven't come back in the past 2 years after leaving, Yang Guanfeng said. That's not reliable. Oh, how did you figure that out? Yang Guanfeng asked with a smile. When we were walking around the stockade today, I carefully observed the village. At least more than 10 families in the village are uninhabited, and it hasn't been for a long time. Oh, the yard is full of grass, Yang Guanfeng said. Looking at the height of the grass, it has been there for at least a year, but it won't be too long. It won't be more than 3 years. Well done, boy, you have made progress. Yang Guanfeng patted him on the shoulder and smiled. Hey, it's all thanks to your good teaching. The young man smiled modestly. What else? Well, that Miao Ching Feng is a martial artist. A martial artist? Yes, he has calluses on his hands, and they are at the position of the fist bones. They're definitely not from working. There's also something wrong with Chief Miao. What's the problem? I can't tell you the specifics, but there must be a problem. I just feel that there is something wrong with him, the young man said. Very good. You can finish your apprenticeship, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. They seem to be unguarded against us, but in fact, they are wary of us everywhere, Yang Guanfeng said. I'm afraid that the places they showed us today were already prepared. I can probably understand the conversation between them. No way, boss, you know this too. What they're saying is actually the language of the Tujia people near southern Yunnan, but there are some slight changes, Yang Guanfeng said. I can generally understand it. There is something wrong with the dialogue between these villagers. It proves that they already knew we were coming and were prepared. They came earlier than we informed them. Is there a mole? There is also something wrong with the lake. What is the problem? I can't tell, but I always feel that the lake is strange, Yang Guanfeng said. It makes me scared, as if it is a monster. Could it be that people have really died? They must have died. I'm afraid there have been many. In the largest wooden house in the village. How is it? There are no accidents, Yang Guanfeng said. It's just that Captain Yang is a little concerned about the Soul Lake. Oh, Miaoxi River was slightly startled. What did they say? They said that the lake is like a monster, Yang Guanfeng said. Miaoxi River was silent for a while. Master, do we need to send someone to keep an eye on them at night? Just find someone to take a look, Yang Guanfeng said. Don't get too close. Yang Guanfeng is a criminal investigation expert. His anti-reconnaissance ability must be very strong. If the people we sent were discovered, it would prove that we have a guilty conscience. They probably won't find anything even if we let them investigate. Okay, I got it. The night was quiet. There was no entertainment in the stockade at night, and they were tired during the day. Therefore, people went to bed early. By 9 o'clock, the lights in the stockade had been turned off, and they went to bed. They worked at sunrise and rested at sunset. They still maintained the most primitive state of life. Yang Guanfeng was lying in bed. He carefully recalled his experience in the village that day. Chapter 865. It was like a slow-motion movie. He was looking for possible flaws and loopholes in these memories, one by one. Hey, I always feel that something is wrong. What is wrong? Just as he was thinking about this, he suddenly heard a clang. What's that sound? He jumped up from the bed and reached for his waist. The sound was gone. What's going on? He looked outside carefully and looked around carefully. It was quiet outside. He didn't find anything suspicious. He didn't turn on the light. Instead, he looked around the room carefully and found a piece of bamboo on the ground. Bamboo? He picked up the bamboo and looked at it carefully. He took out a knife from his pocket and cut the bamboo. He found a note inside. He read the content of the note under the light of his phone and smiled. Interesting. In the village, nothing happened that night. The next morning, the sun was shining. Well, it's another good day, the young man said. Boss, what are we going to do today? Walk around again and then leave this place. Ah, you're leaving so soon. Why? Are you hungry and don't want to leave? That's not it. The Miao Qing phone came uninvited. Where do you want to go today? Anywhere is fine. We're going to leave in the afternoon. Let's look around again so that we can report back, Yang Guanfeng said with a smile. That doesn't sound like something an administrative expert would say. The Miao Qing phone laughed. You know me? I just checked it last night. To be honest, I didn't expect you to be so good and solve so many major cases, the Miao Qing phone said. It was not all a compliment. It was also from the bottom of his heart. Really? Of course, the Miao Qing phone said. Shall we continue? Okay. The Miao Qing phone led the two people to continue to wander around the village. In the mountain village thousands of miles away, in the morning, Wang Zucheng and his father went to the clinic. He took a day off to see his father. Uncle, you look better than the last time you came, Wang Yao said with a smile. Actually, it wasn't just his complexion that was good. His gaze, aura, and spirit were also good. Judging from these aspects alone, his condition had improved. How do you feel? I feel much better after eating your bowl of medicine, Wang Yilong said. My whole body is full of strength, and those parts of my body don't hurt as much. Does it still hurt? A little, but if you don't pay attention, you won't be able to feel it, the old man said with a smile. That's good. Wang Yao checked him again. It was indeed effective, but there was no fundamental improvement. After all, it was that kind of disease. It was impossible to expect this bowl of medicine to be able to immediately reverse it. Although this medicine was concocted with spirit grass, it was not an elixir. Even an ordinary cold would require a few days of treatment, let alone such a malignant tumor, which was a terminal illness. Come, drink another bowl. Wang Yao poured another bowl of medicine for the old man. It was the same amount as last time. Wang Yilong took the medicine and drank it all. Well, nephew, can you tell me what disease I have? The old man asked. He had been sick for a while. During this time, he had only taken medicine. Although there was no big problem and he could work normally, it was not a way to keep spending money. You are old, Wang Yao said. You have nutritional imbalance and poor qi in blood. You need to recuperate. It can't be cured in a short time. He was not completely dealing with the old man. According to the pharmacist's theory, the diseases of the human body could be attributed to poor qi in blood and imbalance of yin and yang. However, the specific reasons and symptoms were strange. Oh, that's okay. Let's continue the treatment, the old man said. I guess it will slowly get better. That's good, that's good. After expressing his gratitude, Wang Zucheng returned home with his father. He then turned and went to the clinic. Is there anything else? Is my father's situation better? It is indeed getting better, but he needs to continue receiving treatment, Wang Yao said. Can it be cured? What do you think? Wang Yao asked. You should know what the situation of this disease is, Wang Yao said. I will do my best, but to what extent the treatment can be done depends on your cooperation. I will cooperate fully. You don't have to do anything deliberately, Wang Yao said. The old man's current state is actually quite good. Take the medicine, maintain a good mood, and appropriate nutritional supplements. Pay attention to the things I told you to pay attention to in life. Okay. I will remember, Wang Ziqing said. In fact, he had written down the things Wang Yao told him that the old man needed to pay attention to in a special notebook. He was very careful on weekdays. He and his wife knew these precautions. Okay, go back, Wang Yao said. Don't worry too much. Do your best, and leave the rest to fate. Okay. Wang Ziqing went back. Wang Yao carefully recorded the old man's changes. This was the first cancer patient he had started to observe and treat. It was very meaningful. I hope it will be successful. Bang, bang, bang. There was a very urgent knock on the door. Come in. Wang Yao's voice came into the ears of the people outside very clearly. Let's go. 4 people came in, 2 men and 2 women. The patient was an old man in his 60s. He was on the back of what seemed to be his son. Hello, are you Dr. Wang? The old man asked. That's me, Wang Yao said. Please take a look at my mother, the old man said. The old man's complexion was very poor. His breathing was a little weak. What happened? Wang Yao asked. My mother fell down in the courtyard, and then she couldn't walk, the old man said. These people were very anxious. When? The old man asked. 3 nights ago, the old man said. Have you been to the county hospital? The old man asked. Yes, but it didn't work, the old man said. Put him down. Let me have a look. They put the old man on a chair. Wang Yao carefully checked him. The meridians were not smooth. The problem was the head. This is simple. Wang Yao asked the old man to lie down. He took out a few silver needles from the needle bag and inserted them into the old man's head. He rubbed them a few times. Then, he pulled out a few silver needles and massaged the old man's head a few times. It's done. It's done. What do you mean? The old man's children, who followed him in, asked in confusion. The old man can go. What? I can feel my legs. The old woman sat up and said. When she came here, she felt that her legs were completely numb. Even when her brain commanded them, they did not respond at all. Chapter 866. Really, Mom? One of the old man's sons obviously didn't believe it after hearing it. It was too miraculous that a simple prick and massage of the head could have such an effect. What was the use of doctors and hospitals? I really do feel much better. Look, I can move my legs now. The old man moved his legs. Sure enough, he could bend them freely. What? Her children were very surprised. When she was in the hospital, her legs didn't have the ability to move like that. At most, she could bend them reluctantly. It's amazing. What's the magic behind? The old woman got out of bed. Her daughter hurried forward to help her. Mom, slow down. I'm fine. I think I can walk on my own. The old woman took 2 steps on her own. Although she was still a little shaky, she could walk on her own. God, I can't believe it. Her daughter sighed. Yes. The old woman's face was full of smiles. It was a happy smile from the bottom of her heart. When she came, she did not have such an expression on her face. That was a face full of worry. She thought that she might not be able to stand up in this lifetime. She even planned to be paralyzed in bed from now on and become a burden to her children. What should she do then? Although her children looked very filial now, no one could guarantee that they would continue to be like this in the future. There were no filial children in front of a long-term hospital bed. She didn't want to be a burden to her children. When people got older, they would think about a lot of things, such as children, health, and retirement. This time, he didn't come here with much hope. Although he heard from his relatives that the doctor here was amazing, after seeing him in person, he was so young and couldn't have much ability. The fact was that he did have amazing abilities. He didn't take any medicine or injections, just acupuncture and massage, and then he was cured. This was really amazing. If he had known that it was so amazing, he wouldn't have stayed in the hospital. He wasted thousands of yuan and just came here directly for acupuncture. The effect was immediate. "Thank you so much, Dr. Wong," the old woman said. "You're welcome." They happily paid the consultation fee. The effect was so good that they were naturally willing. The key was that the price was not expensive. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have gone to the hospital. I would have come here directly. I spent a few thousand yuan in the hospital, but nothing happened, said one of the old man's sons. "No, hospitalization is effective," Wang Yao said. "Those drugs are working. Otherwise, my treatment wouldn't have worked so quickly," Wang Yao said with a smile. The reason why his acupuncture and massage worked so quickly was that the acupuncture and massage techniques he mastered were different. Moreover, during the treatment process, he also transferred a little neishi into the old woman's brain. Another point that could not be ignored was that the drugs injected into her during her hospitalization were constantly working. It was not as useless as they thought. "Anyway, my medical skills are not as good as yours." This was a little flattering and flattering. "You flatter me," Wang Yao said. "The old woman should pay more attention to her health when she goes back. Don't catch a cold. Pay attention to her diet. Eat more light food. Don't eat high-calorie and high-fat food. In addition, she must take medicine on time for her high blood pressure. Pay attention to control it. She may not be so lucky next time." "Oh, I see. Thank you." The whole family left happily. After leaving the clinic and getting in the car, the woman who had advocated to go there said, "I told you it works here." "Ah, I didn't expect Dr. Wong to be so capable at such a young age." "Indeed. Mom, how do you feel?" "Very good. My head is warm, and my legs are also warm," the old woman said happily. "Shouldn't we celebrate?" "Yes, we must celebrate. Wait, let's go to the county hospital first to go through the discharge procedures." "Yes, I've been there for a long time," the old woman said. In this hospital, he could not rest well and eat well. Moreover, patients like him were all around. He sighed all day long and frowned. This kind of bad mood was contagious. Of course, he would feel uncomfortable just by looking at it. Thousands of miles away in southern Yunnan, in a valley of thousands of medicine, the Miaoqing Feng was still taking young Guanfeng and his colleague for a slow stroll in the mountain village. "The scenery here is so good," young Guanfeng exclaimed. It was not a compliment. The scenery in the stockade was indeed very good. There are mountains, rivers, and forests. The air was so fresh that it was amazing. It was extremely rare even in southern Yunnan, where the environment was generally good. Most of the people living here can be healthy and live a long life, right? Indeed, there are now more than a dozen people in our village who are over 90 years old. They are in good health and can take care of themselves, the Miao Qingfeng said. They were walking. Suddenly, there was a scream. "What's going on? Let's go and have a look." Young Guanfeng and the others ran in the direction where the scream came from. The Miao Qingfeng frowned. "What's going on in this direction?" "Help!" a person screamed. "They want to kill me." "Oh no!" The Miao Qingfeng's heart skipped a beat. A man with a naked upper body was as thin as firewood. His body was strangely greenish-black. "Help me! Help me!" After seeing young Guanfeng and the others, it was as if he had seen his savior. He ran in their direction, but after running a few steps, his body suddenly began to twitch. Then, some black blood kept gushing out of the corner of his mouth, and he fell to the ground with a plop. Young Guanfeng and the others hurried forward. "He's dead." Yang Guanfeng's face was very serious. The man's body was full of scars, which were obviously man-made. They looked like scars left by some kind of special torture tool. What was even more frightening was that there were some strange little insects crawling on his body. They were the size of maggots, but they were grayish-black. They drilled out of his body and then drilled back in. "Mr. Miao, I want to know what's going on." Yang Guanfeng turned and asked the Miao Qingfeng. "This is an accident," the Miao Qingfeng said with a serious face. "An accident?" Yang Guanfeng decisively took out his mobile phone. "Please wait a moment." The Miao Qingfeng grabbed the phone. "Mr. Miao, what do you want to do?" Yang Guanfeng's face changed. At the same time, he touched his waist. "I think we should discuss it." "What's there to discuss?" Someone is dead here, and it's obviously not a suicide. This is a homicide, the most serious criminal offense. This kind of thing needs to be handled by the police. I mean, the Miao Qing Feng didn't know what to say. To be honest, he really wanted to get rid of this hateful criminal investigation expert at once. But he was ordered not to let him suffer any harm here. At that moment, a person appeared in front of him very quickly. He said a few words to the Miao Qing Feng. "I'm sorry, Captain Yang." The Miao Qing Feng handed the phone to him. Yang Guanfeng made a phone call. The nearest police station was 50 miles away, and they had to go through a very dense jungle. It was very troublesome to come here. "Protect the scene. No one is allowed to come close," Yang Guanfeng said. "Okay, boss, how long do we have to wait?" "How long can we wait?" Yang Guanfeng asked. He also hoped that the police and the forensic doctor could come as soon as possible. Not long after, something that shocked the people in the village happened. A helicopter actually appeared in the sky above their village. "What is this?" The Miao Qingfeng's face changed. He didn't expect the other party to call for a helicopter. "Well done, Captain. You really have a lot of face." The young man exclaimed. "What do you mean by a lot of face?" "I didn't call for it," Yang Guanfeng said. In fact, he was also very surprised. The helicopter had nothing to do with him. The speed at which these people were dispatched was indeed a little too fast. It seemed that they had prepared in advance and were just waiting for his call. What's going on here? A figure appeared in his mind. Could it be him? Chapter 867. He thought of the young county party secretary. Although the young man was not old, he had a deep mind that did not match his age. He must have known that Yang Guanfeng had come here. He also had the ability to get the helicopter. He also seemed to know the situation here. For a moment, they all thought a lot. In the largest wooden building in the village, "Master, there's a problem at the insect building." A person ran out and was seen by the two outsiders in the valley. Yang Guanfeng has contacted the outside. Miao Shihe was the first to learn the news. Whoosh! The loud sound of the helicopter's rotors spread into the valley. The people in the stockade came out and looked at the helicopter that was slowly landing in the sky. "Master, there's a helicopter outside. Do you allow it to land?" "Let it land and cooperate with their investigation. Find someone to take the blame," Miaoshi River said. "Yes, master." The people who came by helicopter were public security personnel and forensic doctors from nearby cities. One of them was his former colleague. After they got off the helicopter, they immediately had a preliminary contact with Yang Guanfeng and learned about the case. The forensic doctor began to examine the body. After seeing the body, he was very surprised. It was the first time he had encountered such a body. He just did a simple on-site inspection. "How is it?" "The initial cause of death is poisoning," Yang Guanfeng said. "There are a lot of wounds on the body, and there are traces of cuts made by sharp weapons. Obviously, he has been tortured. In addition, there should be a large number of unknown poisonous insects in his body. The specific results need to be further examined. In addition, this person's body needs to be disposed of." "You are the expert," Yang Guanfeng said. "You have the final say." While they were discussing the man who had just died suddenly, Miaoshi River arrived at the scene. "Hello, Captain Yang." "Hello, Chief Miao. There's been a murder in your stockade. I hope you can assist in the investigation." "You can rest assured, Captain Yang," Miaoshi River said. "We will do our best to assist in the investigation and find the murderer. He is also a threat in the valley." "Who is this person?" Yang Guanfeng pointed to the corpse on the ground. "I don't know this person either. He's not from the stockade," Miaoshi River said after taking a closer look at the dead man's face. "Not from here." "Yes," Miaoshi River replied. "Didn't Chief Miao say that outsiders rarely come here?" "It's true that very few outsiders come here, but there will be people going out of the village, and there are some situations that I don't fully grasp." "All right. If Chief Miao thinks of any useful information, please let me know immediately." "Definitely." "That's good." Immediately, Yang Guanfeng launched an investigation. The dead man had left some traces on the road. They followed the traces and came to a wooden building in the corner of the village. The wooden building was not small. It had 2 floors and looked very old. They had gone round the village several times before, but had not come to it, for it was led by a narrow, winding path and was blocked by a fence. What's that smell? After approaching the wooden building, they smelled a special medicinal smell. Mr. Meow, what is this place? Yang Guanfeng pointed to the wooden building and asked. This is a place in the village for people to study herbs, Miao Qingfeng replied. Herbs? Yes, many people in our village study herbs, Miao Qingfeng said. This wooden building was built in the village. It has a history of more than 300 years. With such a long history, why is it in such a place? Because some herbs are very dangerous, Yang Guanfeng said. The smell they emit is also dangerous. It may have adverse effects on the human body. Therefore, this relatively remote location was chosen. Can we go in and have a look? Yes, but the smell may be a little pungent. It doesn't have any toxic effect on the body, does it? It's your first time going in, so it may be a little, Yang Guanfeng said. At most, you'll feel dizzy and nauseous. It's not a big problem. Let's go in. The door of the wooden building was locked. It's still locked? Yes, I have a key. Miao Qingfeng took out a key from his body. How many keys are there? Yang Guanfeng asked. A total of 5. Who has them? 1 for me, 1 for the patriarch, and the other 3 are in the hands of 3 old people in the village who study herbs. They often come here. Creak. The door of the wooden house was opened. There was a pungent smell. It was hard to adapt to the new place. The furnishings in the wooden building were also very old. There were wooden tables, chairs, and stools. There were also many special tools. They all looked ancient. Well, what is this used for? It's a medicine roller for crushing herbs. What about this? It's used to dry herbs. Yang Guanfeng was very curious about these things. He asked about them whenever he came across them. Well, there's a lot of knowledge in it, but it has been passed down for hundreds of years. There's a lot of knowledge in it. What about the second floor? Let's go up and have a look. Miao Qingfeng led the way. They went up to the second floor. There were some books on the second floor. There were also some bottles and jars. What are those? Yang Guanfeng pointed to the bottles and jars. Those are the medicines that have been concocted. Some can be used directly. Some need to wait for a while. Can I open them and have a look? Yes. Miao Qingfeng opened a few jars. Some of them were pastes, and some are granular medicines. What are these used for? Different medicines have different effects. Some can treat external injuries, some can nourish the internal organs, and some can promote blood circulation and dredge stasis. They walked around the second floor, but didn't find anything out of the ordinary. Then, they went down to the first floor. Yang Guanfeng was not in a hurry to leave. Instead, he walked around the first floor again. What's wrong? Are there only 2 floors here? Ha! You are indeed a criminal investigation expert, Miao Qingfeng said. There's another floor, but it is underground. Underground? Let's go. We'll go in another direction. They came to the outside of the wooden building and walked to the back of the building. It turned out that there was a small house behind the wooden building. There was also a lock. I don't have the key to this lock. Please wait a moment. Miao Qingfeng came back not long after he left. It's done. How many keys are there? 3. The chief has 1, and the other 2 are in the hands of the 2 old people in the stockade. What's in here? Let's go in and have a look. After unlocking the door, they pushed the door and went in. The smell inside was more unique and pungent. There was a slanted stone staircase leading to the underground. They followed the stone staircase to the bottom. There was a stone cave with an area of about 30 square meters. It was not regular. There were many wooden shelves with some bottles and jars on them. There were some cages on the ground. There was even a pool in the corner with water in it. What's in here? The young man was about to move. Don't touch it. Miao Qingfeng hurriedly stopped him. What's wrong? There are poisonous snakes in here. As Miao Qingfeng spoke, he gently opened the lid of the jar and looked inside. There was a 2-foot-long green snake coiled inside. Poisonous snakes? What's in these jars? Not all of them are snakes. There are scorpions, centipedes, and lizards, Miao Qingfeng said. 5 poisons? It's poisonous to them, but it's also a good medicinal ingredient. It's needed in some medicines. That man has insects on him? To be honest, I haven't seen them before. What about Chief Meow? Chief should know, right? What's in this pool? He pointed to the pool of about 3 square meters at the corner of the cave. That pool is actually connected to this underground river. There's a special kind of white fish in it. It has a special nourishing effect. As Miao Qing Feng spoke, he came to the side of the pool. He took a fishing net from the side and quickly inserted it into the water to fish. He saw that there were 2 special fish in the fishing net. They were a rare snow-white color and looked very beautiful. Why don't you try it at noon? Thank you for your kindness, but forget it. Yang Guanfeng waved his hand. There didn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary in this cave. They walked around carefully and then left this place. After coming out of the cave, they continued to search for clues left behind. They came to the front of a bamboo building. What's this place? It's where the people in the village live. The owner is called Miao Qingshan. He is a guy with a strange temper. Strange temper? Yes, let's go in and have a look. The clue led us here. Let's go in and have a look. Don't talk too much later. Chapter 868. They knocked on the door of the courtyard, but no one responded. He's not at home. No, he should be at home at this time, the Miao Qing Feng said. Who is it? A voice came from the house. It sounded dull. It's me, Qing Feng. Wait. The voice came from the house again. After waiting for a while, they heard footsteps. With a creak, the door opened. A tall and strong man opened the door. He had thick eyebrows and a dark face. He looked at Yang Guanfeng with a cold gaze. Qingshan, what are you busy with? You just opened the door. What can I do for you? Miao Qingshan did not answer. He asked directly. Yang Guanfeng was about to speak when he was pulled by the Miao Qing Feng. It's like this, Brother Qingshan. Something happened in the stronghold today, and someone died. It has nothing to do with me. The Miao Qing Feng was interrupted rudely before he could finish. But there are clues outside pointing to your courtyard. Can we go in and have a look? Clues? What clues? Hearing this, Miao Qingshan's tone was obviously much colder. Hostility. Yang Guanfeng felt a strong hostility and rejection from him. These two are criminal investigation experts from the province. The Miao Qing Feng pointed to Yang Guanfeng and Miao Qingshan. People from the outside? Yang Guanfeng found the people in the stockade very interesting. They seemed to address people from the outside as people from the outside. Yes, I hope Brother Qingshan can cooperate. When did the people in the stockade become so polite to outsiders? Miao Qingshan asked. Someone died in the village. They're here to investigate the case. Let's go in and have a look. This is also the chief's idea. The Miao Qingfeng's tone also changed. When he heard that it was the chief's idea, Miao Qingshan's expression changed. He stepped aside unwillingly. It seems that Chief Miao's prestige in this stockade is extraordinarily high. Yang Guanfeng thought. The 3 of them entered the courtyard. Woof, woof, woof. A dog barked in the courtyard. This dog's size could only be considered average, but it gave people a very fierce feeling. Yang Guanfeng searched carefully in the small courtyard. In fact, the evidence he could find was the blood stains and the fallen muscle and skin tissue left behind by the man during his run. This was a test of a person's experience and meticulousness. If there was a police dog here, this job would be much easier. Although he didn't have the sensitive sense of smell of a police dog, Yang Guanfeng still found some clues. He was now sure that the dead outsider had been here. Have any strangers come in recently? Yes, both of you. Other than us? No more. Are you sure? I'm sure. You were in the house all day? Yes. Yang Guanfeng carefully stared at the man with a somewhat cold gaze. What is it, Captain Yang? That person has been here before, Yang Guanfeng said. What, are you sure? I'm sure that the tissue debris on the ground can be used for a DNA comparison. It must be consistent with the deceased's. After hearing that, the man looked down at the almost imperceptible debris on the ground. His gaze became even colder. Brother Qingshan, is what he said true? The Miao Qingfeng's face also changed. This kind of thing can't be joked about. Miao Qingshan didn't speak. This is troublesome, the Miao Qingfeng whispered. Let's go. What? Yang Guanfeng was stunned when he heard that. The biggest suspect was standing in front of him. The next thing to do was to enter his room and conduct a further search to look for suspicious clues. If he left just like that, wouldn't it be equivalent to giving the other party a chance to destroy the clues and evidence that he might not have had time to destroy? Let's talk somewhere else. The Miao-Qing phone almost dragged him to the outside of the courtyard. This person is very suspicious. I want to go into his room and have a look. If we leave now and let him go, he is likely to destroy the traces left behind. Are you sure? What are you worried about? This person's identity is somewhat special. Special? What kind of special? Is there a death exemption gold medal? Yang Guanfeng asked angrily. He is the grandson of the previous chief of this stockade. And then, you don't know how high the prestige of the previous chief was in this stockade, Li Mu said. I only know that he is now an important suspect, Yang Guanfeng said. He didn't care about the previous chief. He is the only one left in his family. So what? I have to ask the chief about this matter. Then hurry up, Yang Guanfeng said. Don't dawdle. Is 5 minutes enough? Be sure to wait for me to come back. I'll go to the chief. There's no need to look for him. A voice was heard. Miaoshi River appeared beside them. Hello, Chief Miao. Hello, Captain Yang. Let's go. I'll talk to him. After seeing Miaoshi River, Miao Qingshan's attitude had obviously changed. He became very respectful. Qingshan, tell me the truth. Have you seen the person outside? I haven't. Otherwise, the dog would bark. Captain Yang? Miaoshi River turned to look at Yang Guanfeng. I want to go inside and have a look. Qingshan, let him go in and have a look. Okay, uncle. Miaoshi River's WeChat was indeed extraordinary. With just a few words, he made the other party give in obediently. They entered the house. It was very messy inside. There was a pungent smell of medicine. What are you doing here? Miaoshi River looked at Miao Qingshan and asked. This? Miao Qingshan did not answer. The smell of blood. There was a smell of blood in this house. It was not the first time Yang Guanfeng had smelled this smell. He was very sensitive to it. Was it human or animal? He followed the smell. Wait. Miao Qingshan suddenly stopped in front of him. Qingshan, Miaoshi River's expression changed. You didn't listen to me? Chief, I didn't kill anyone. Miao Qingshan's address had also changed. Then what are you afraid of? I'm afraid of being framed. Miao Qingshan said. Get out of my way. Miao Qingshan's eyes became cold again. Not good. Yang Guanfeng decisively pulled out his gun. Then, a person suddenly appeared in front of him. Miao Qingshan fell to the ground and fainted. What a fast speed. Yang Guanfeng looked at Miaoshi River in front of him. The chief of the Miao family was actually a master. He did not expect this. Well, Captain Yang, you can investigate to your heart's content. Miaoshi River's tone was a little cold. Yang Guanfeng did not care so much. He followed the smell he had just smelled and quickly searched. He found a passage leading to the underground. He opened the floor. A strong smell of blood rushed out from the ground. It was pungent and disgusting. This is the smell of human blood, Yang Guanfeng said. Chapter 869. Yang Guanfeng found a human hand in the underground space. The broken hand had been cut off by a sharp weapon. It seemed that it had not been cut for a long time. Livor mortis had just appeared. Can you explain what happened to this broken hand? Yang Guanfeng asked Miao Qingshan as he held the broken hand. Miao Qingshan did not speak. Instead, he turned to look at Miaoshi River. Patriarch, what's going on? Qingshan, what are you doing? Miaoshi River asked. I didn't do anything, Miao Qingshan said. I don't know what happened to this broken hand. You don't know? Yang Guanfeng laughed. You are now an important suspect. Please cooperate with the investigation. Yang Guanfeng's tone became very serious. I didn't kill anyone. Miao Qingshan's mood was a little anxious. He exuded a very dangerous aura. The young man next to Yang Guanfeng had pulled out his gun and stared at the big man in front of him. Qingshan, assist Captain Yang in the investigation, Miaoshi River said coldly. His tone was inviolable. I didn't kill anyone, Miao Qingshan said. Why should I cooperate with him? They're just outsiders. You can't even explain this broken hand clearly. What do you mean I can't explain it clearly? Is there a need to explain such a thing? The village enough. Before Miao Qing Shan could finish his words, he was interrupted by Miaoshi River. Ah! The roar was so loud that Yang Guanfeng felt his ears buzzing. It was as if someone was beating a drum beside him. I didn't expect him to have such a loud voice. I won't go. Miao Qing Shan's body bowed. What are you going to do? Bang! He suddenly stretched out his hand and scattered a large amount of dust. Damn it! Be careful, don't breathe. Miaoshi River shouted. What is this? Yang Guanfeng decisively held his breath, but it was too late. He suddenly felt that it was difficult to breathe. It was as if a very powerful hand was strangling his throat. Hiss! Phew! The scene in front of him began to blur. His body lost its strength. Damn it, what's going on? Thump, thump. The two of them fell to the ground. When he woke up again, he found himself lying on a bed in a wooden hut. Where's this? He sat up and touched his waist. Fortunately, the gun was still there. He got out of bed and realized that his body was soft and powerless. His head hurt, and he was seeing double. It's that Miao Qing Shan. He recalled the scene before he fainted. You are awake. A voice came from behind. It was Miao Qing Feng. What happened to me? Was I poisoned? Yes, he's poisoned. It's the poison powder made by Qing Shan. We need the help of our clan leader, or else we'll be in trouble, the Miao Qing Feng said. Where is he? He ran away into the mountains. Ran away? Yang Guanfeng was stunned when he heard that. Yes. The chief has already organized people to go up the mountain to search. Miao Qing Shan said. What's the point of searching? The deep mountains and forests stretch for hundreds of miles. Where are you going to find a person hiding in there? Out with my colleague. He woke up earlier than you did, the Miao Qing Feng said. By the way, while you were unconscious, your colleagues who came here by helicopter had already searched Qing Shan's place. They found another body in his room. It's not from our stockade. They're confirming the identity of the body. After hearing the news, Yang Guanfeng was silent. Now, it was basically certain that the person who killed people in the stockade was Miao Qing Shan, who had escaped to an unknown place. Has Miao Qing Shan gone deep into the mountains? Yes. Can the people in your stockade find him? We'll try our best, but the hope is slim, the Miao Qing Feng said. The mountains are too big. It's too easy for him to hide a person. Yang Guanfeng didn't say anything after hearing that. What could he say? He lay on the bed, thinking about something else. The purpose of his visit was to investigate the stockade because of the 16 people who had died outside. So far, he hadn't found any clues related to the case. Instead, he had encountered a sudden murder in the stockade. Was it purely a coincidence, or was there a connection between the two? I won't disturb your rest. If you need anything, please look for me. There are people guarding outside. They know how to find me. Thank you. It's our negligence that caused you and your companion to get hurt. The Miao Qing Feng left after apologizing. Yang Guanfeng lay quietly on the bed. After about 20 minutes, his companion entered his room. He was a little shaky when he walked, and his face didn't look very good. How do you feel, boss? I'm fine. How about you? Don't mention it. I have a terrible headache, and I don't have any strength. I feel like I drank 2 bottles of liquor. It's so uncomfortable. I heard from them that Miao Qing Shan, who attacked us, ran away and went into the mountains. Well, he did run away, but we don't know where he went. Boss, don't you think something is wrong with this matter? Something is wrong. I was thinking about it when I was lying on the bed just now, Yang Guanfeng said. We came here to investigate the sudden murder in the small county outside. We came here based on the clues. In the end, we didn't find any clues for the case, but we encountered a murder. This time, it went very smoothly. We found the murderer. Just when we were about to catch him, he ran away. What's wrong with this? Yang Guanfeng asked. Anyway, I feel something is wrong. I also feel something is wrong, but there is no evidence, Yang Guanfeng said. We need to pay attention to evidence to solve cases. While the two of them were talking, another person came in. It was Yang Guanfeng's old colleague, who had come by helicopter. Hello, Lao Lu. Hello, Guanfeng, Yang Guanfeng said. How are you feeling? I'm fine, but my body is weak, and my head hurts a little. Have a good rest, Wang Yao said. We found some things at the residence of a man named Miao Qing Shan. One of them was a diary written in the local indigenous language. Some things were recorded in it. It can be preliminarily determined that the murder in He County has something to do with him. Oh, Yang Guanfeng and Lao Lu were shocked. What evidence? In that record, he mentioned He County and recorded some things like experiments. He should be using the people in He County to conduct live experiments. I talked to Chief Miao, and he thinks that Miao Qingshan is concocting a strange drug and experimenting on people. No way. Such a coincidence? The young man was surprised. Yes, it's too much of a coincidence, Yang Guanfeng said. We have sent the record book outside for the nearest language expert to translate and read it. Chapter 870. What a coincidence! Yang Guanfeng exclaimed. The murders outside and the murders in the village were actually the same murderer. They were presented in front of them in such a way. Have a good rest, old Lu said. I still have some things to deal with. Okay, sorry to trouble you. We are friends. Besides, this is also my duty. You are too polite. Comrade, old Lu left the room. Boss, isn't this too much of coincidence? The young man asked as soon as he left. Yes, what a coincidence. Yang Guanfeng lit a cigarette. There is no way to verify it. He looked outside. His eyes were deep behind the smoke. The current situation could not be clearer. All the evidence pointed to Miao Qingshan. He was an important suspect in the murders in this stockade and in He County outside the stockade. That was because all the evidence pointed to him. However, he had escaped. He had absconded to avoid punishment, so there was no way to interrogate him. Boss, what should we do next? What should we do? Yang Guanfeng asked. Recuperate and leave this place. There would probably be no progress if they continued to stay there. In a tea house in He County, hundreds of miles away. Uncle Su, you have lost a lot of weight these days. Guo Jinghe poured a cup of tea for Su Xinyuan, who was sitting opposite him. Thank you, young master. I've told you many times, don't call me that. It's really awkward to hear. There are only two of us now. Su Xinyuan drank a cup of tea and smiled. I have been to the village. What? Guo Jinghe was shocked. The village is more mysterious than I thought. I almost couldn't get out when I went in, Su Xinyuan said. Are you hurt? It's just a minor injury. It won't get in the way. Don't be careless, Guo Jinghe said. That village is proficient in using poison and voodoo insects. Although I haven't seen it, I think it must be terrible. It's okay. I have my ways, Su Xinyuan said. I've already gone to the hospital for a checkup. Everything is normal. There's no problem. He had indeed been to the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, and he had indeed encountered danger. It was not as simple as he had made it out to be. He had almost not been able to get out after going in. The Valley of Thousands of Medicine was much more mysterious than he had imagined. Moreover, there was more than one master who was proficient in using poison and cold weapons. If he had not carried a weapon with him, he would have been trapped inside. Now that he thought about it, he still felt a little scared. Don't do such things in the future, Guo Jinghe said. He was really worried about Su Xinyuan now because he didn't have many people he could use. However, in this matter, only Su Xinyuan could help. I just got the news that the murderer of this case has been found. It's that person from a Valley of Thousands of Medicine. Has the person been caught? Su Xinyuan hurriedly asked after hearing that. No, they ran away, Guo Jinghe said as he leaned back in his chair. They ran into the mountains. Captain Yang and his colleagues were poisoned. They are recuperating there. In fact, he didn't care whether the person was caught or not. What he wanted was a result that everyone could accept. Those people had been killed. The murderer was a person named Miao Qingshan. He came from the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, which was a rather mysterious place. That was enough. He had an explanation for both the higher-ups and the lower-ups. As for whether or not he could catch the culprit, it was not his concern. It was not something he should care about. That was the job of the police department. What a coincidence, Su Xinyuan said. Coincidence? Yes, Su Xinyuan said. Yang Guanfeng and the others have only been in there for 2 days, yet they have already solved the case. Is it because he is really skilled, or is it because it is a coincidence that the Valley of Thousands of Medicine picked out a scapegoat? When the limelight is over, he can return to the stockade and live a normal life again. After all, no one goes to that place on weekdays, and he won't come out again. Are you saying that this is very likely to be a show directed by the mountain village, including the murder that just happened? Murder case. Su Yuan was stunned after hearing it. Then, Guo Zhenghe told him some of what he knew about the situation. The more I listen, the more it sounds like it was prepared long ago, Su Yuan said. They found a scapegoat and got rid of Yang Guanfeng. He was also poisoned. It is estimated that there will be some sequelae. It is also a warning to the outside world. In that case, the people in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine are very bold, Guojing has said. Indeed, and they are not as aloof from worldly affairs as the rumors say, Su Yuan said. Some people in the province have been keeping in touch with them. Most of them are powerful people. This time, Yang Guanfeng encountered considerable resistance when he went in to investigate. Guo Jinghe gently rubbed the exquisite teacup. I didn't expect such a bad *SS place to exist in southern Yunnan. Uncle Su, do you think they will come out again? It's hard to say, but I don't think they will for a while. The limelight is too tight. They will restrain themselves. Then why did they harm those 16 people? Guo Jinghe asked. It was to do experiments. Isn't that a bit too crazy? I don't know about that, but I will continue to investigate. Well, investigate further. Logically speaking, such a bad *SS place is not allowed to exist in southern Yunnan. Guojing has said, find out who those people are and what they want to do. Yes, young master. Be sure to pay attention to your safety. Yes. In the Valley of Thousands of Medicine, master. Are they all awake? All right, it's not a big deal. What about Qing Shan? I haven't found him yet. Is he really doing those things? Yes. This child still hasn't untied the knot in his heart. Miaoshi River's pale, golden face was expressionless. Say hello to the people in the mountains and try to avoid hurting him as much as possible. After all, he is the only bloodline of the old patriarch. Yes, master. In another wooden house, Yang Guanfeng and his colleagues rested for a whole day and felt that they had basically recovered. The next day, they found Miaoshi River and left. I suggest you rest for a while, the Miao Qing Feng advised. The toxins in your bodies have not been completely removed. There is still a small amount of residual. Although it is not a big deal, it is still poison. It is better to completely remove it. How long will we have to wait? A week? No, we still have work to do, Yang Guanfeng said. We can't wait that long. How about this? Wait a moment. I'll go talk to the patriarch and see if he has a better idea. Thank you. You're welcome. After the Miao Qing Feng left, Miaoshi River came with a clay jar. This is the antidote, Miaoshi River said. Drink it and leave with a portion. Take it according to the amount within 2 days. The toxins in your bodies will be removed. The medicine was very bitter and difficult to swallow. The two men frowned and drank it. Thank you. You were injured in our stockade, Miaoshi River said. The people who hurt you were from the stockade. As the patriarch, I have an unshirkable responsibility. If there is anything you need us for in the future, please come here. We welcome you. Thank you, Yang Guanfeng said. In this way, they refused the Miaoshi River's kindness of holding a banquet to see them off. The two men left the mountain village. Miao Qing Feng followed them. Well, we can leave here, Yang Guanfeng said. No, I have to take you to the nearest village. I am afraid Qing Shan is nearby, Miao Qing Feng said. Thank you for your trouble. Yang Guanfeng thought it was right. After all, the guy was good at using poison. The two of them were not afraid of ordinary bandits, but it was still difficult to deal with such a strange person unless they found him early and subdued him with long-distance shooting. Just like that, Miao Qing Shan sent them all the way to the nearest village before leaving. Thank you. Be careful when you go back alone. It's okay. I know a little about his abilities and methods. Besides, the patriarch gave me the medicine. Take care. Take care. Miao Qing Feng said goodbye to the two men and disappeared into the woods. Let's go. Shall we go too? Oh, thinking about it, the past few days in the Valley of Thousands of Medicine have been really exciting, the young man said. It feels like a movie. If I go back and write a novel, many people will read it. Yang Guanfeng did not speak. He just smoked quietly. Boss, what are you thinking about? I'm thinking about Miao Qing Feng, Miao Qing Shan, Miaoshi River, and their valley of thousands of medicine. Don't think about it. Isn't the case closed? Closed, Yang Guanfeng asked. If the person is not caught, the case is not closed. At most, it is an unsolved case. He still felt that something was wrong. What is wrong? You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.